Israel. Shalom, shalom. What's up, Jude? Hang around, stick around for a minute, brother. We're going to get into the word. Give a few more seconds, people to jump in. I see some brothers come and go. Give it a minute, Israel, then we're going to start. Today being the Sabbath day, Israel, the Most High expect us to be in the Spirit. Yeah. Okay. All praises. The Most High expect us to be in the Spirit. What is it to be in the Spirit? To feel a certain way about the Scriptures, to feel a certain way about the Most High. And almost, I grab one more precept, then we have it.
Conference recording started.
Okay, Israel. Most High Christ, bless everybody.
Most High Christ, bless you.
Happy Sabbath to you. We're going to open up. And so today's lesson, today's topics, we're going to deal with a couple of topics, Father willing. The first one is loving thyself. The first topic is loving thyself. So we're going to get into the scriptures, Israel. Shalom, family, and teach you, according to the scriptures, to love yourself. Okay? And then, by special request, somebody asked me to go into alms, the giving of alms. What's up, Brother Uzziah? So, let's see. Still didn't find this thing. Ecclesiastes 30. Okay. All praises. That's right, brother. See, I listen. Let me know. I send out the prayers and see how the Father want to deal with it. And we deal with it. Sometimes people ask about topics and it don't be in the plan of the Most High. Sometimes people ask about topics and they do. But we're going to start in Ecclesiastes 30. And actually 21. Before we get there, Israel, we in this truth, and sometimes we make it hard, for us because, we kind of forgetting about ourselves. And what I mean by, that we kind of forget about ourselves. We kind of forget to uplift ourselves. We kind of forget to do things for ourselves. We kind of forget about, hello, I'm here. Me, the person in the mirror. You got to take care of the person in the mirror in every aspect. Now, you can't you know, you can't do things that put you in sin. So the lawful and the righteous things that you can do, you know, those things you actually supposed to take pleasure in. And that's why I try to, me personally, you know, those that live with me and around me, you know, what's that baby name in the corner? Don't play with the books. They'll last long. Sit it down until you're ready to read it. Books can last a long time if you treat it right. They tear up, and then y'all be looking for some more books. But back to the subject at hand. I want us all to really think about what I'm saying. What can you do, you know, for yourself, to uplift yourself, to make yourself feel better, to make yourself, you know, feel confident? What is there something that you can do for yourself? You know, I preach the commandments to you all the time, and that's good, and that's priority. That's what you're supposed to do. You have to keep the commandments in order to have success. But in the keeping of those commandments, if you are stressing yourself and worrying yourself because, oh, I'm trying to keep the law, I'm doing the best that I can, but I'm failing at some points, you're not doing yourself no justice. So we're going to start at Ecclesiastes chapter 30 and 21. Read that.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 30 and verse 21.
Right.
Give not over thy mind to heaviness.
See that? Give not over thy mind to heaviness. Some of y'all put too much into it, man. Y'all think too much. You understand? You're stressing. You're thinking too much. Life is, you know, we live racers. Yeah, racers. You know, what did Dom say in what is that, Fast and the Furious? What did he say? He lived his life a quarter mile at a time. You know, he lived his life racing, and he enjoyed that. But, you know, and as a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, he's Israel, so I'm quoting an Israelite. He just looks like an Edomite. His dad is Israel. So one day at a time, Israel. One day at a time. Christ said it in Matthew 6. Let's get it. And we ain't going away from that. Don't let me go. You know what? Hold me to it. So we got to go back. Matthew chapter 6. And 34.
This is Matthew chapter 6 and 34.
Right.
Take therefore no thought for tomorrow.
Wait a second. Let him get it. I want all eyes glued. So when we call the precept out, y'all going to have to start rushing to the precept to get it. That's how you learn. That him. Okay, Matthew chapter 6 and 34. Go ahead.
This is Matthew chapter 6 and 34. Take therefore no thought for the morrow, for the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself.
Right. Take therefore no thought. This spirit do rest in children because they have an impatient spirit. And you can tell. I give you a clue, not a clue, but I give you an example on how you know that children do this. What's up, Brother Ricky? Man, children will take, and you're supposed to, children will take those clothes, you know, those school clothes, they'll take them and iron them out. Have them sitting out. They have the top, the shirt, the bottom, the socks that match up under the pants leg, and they'll have the shoes sitting at the bottom. And the only thing in their mind is when I go to school, man, I'm gonna look good. They'll lay their clothes from head. Some of y'all in here do that. They'll lay their clothes all the way out. Adults, because they thinking about tomorrow. They thinking about tomorrow. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Well, although that's something simple, when you get into the life of responsibilities, those same bad habits of thinking about tomorrow, you can bring that. You know, you can grow in that. And when you grow into that, when you grow with that, what is that called? It's called stress. You be stressing yourself out. So Christ was trying to teach us to take care of ourselves and don't worry and burden ourselves mentally in our mind. Some of you can't even function because of the stress. You refuse to, you can't find happiness. You can't be happy with yourself. But being happy with yourself and loving yourself, it takes time to do that. First, it takes somebody to actually tell you to actually do it. Because when you love yourself, then you ain't going to accept nothing less but love for you. And you're actually going to know how to treat somebody else. You know, we keep expecting Israel as an adults to know this, but they really don't know. They don't know how to love each other. You know, that's why there's so much hatred in the world and betrayal in the world. So Matthew 6:34, take therefore no thought. That means don't even put it into your mind about the next day. For the morrow, meaning the next day. So do what you got to do today. Enjoy yourself today. You know, something that bothers me, and I pray, and it's in my spirit, and it's all on the Father. You know, if I can't do it, I hope it. I have hope. I hope, and I'm going to tell you what it is. I hope that someday it's able to be done, you know, whether it's by my son or another brother in the truth or a son I begotten in the truth. And that's to truly liberate the congregation while we are in our captivity. And how do you do that? By creating some type of system to where we can do what we want to do. We can roam about this country the way we want to roam. We can be self-sufficient. We can make money. I mean everybody. I mean even our wives. Even our wives. If they got to be the person, if you got to be the person that make the phone call, damn it, you get money for making the phone call. Our children with all their strength help us. I mean, liberate everybody to where you don't have to punch no clock. And then we want to pick up and go somewhere, we lock our doors and we gone. That's what's in my spirit. I would love to do something like that. But the part that affects me is that we're keeping the feast, and the only thing that half the congregations think about is that they got to be at work tomorrow. That hurts. I love the Lord. I love what we're doing. I love the feast day. I love the convocation. I love the company. I love the environment. I love the atmosphere. And it's broken up because now you got to be somewhere. The oppression. And we don't want to go, but we have to go. So what do? We got to start putting our minds together and say, hey, what can I do? What can we do that'll put us in a better place to where they don't have that type of control? We still gonna have our license. We still gonna Shalom Vic. We still gonna pay our taxes. We still have to obey the powers that be. But I found a way and a system how to make money without having to show up. And you control me from 6 to 2:30, from 7 to 3:30, from 8 to 4, from 9 to 5. Then I gotta go, and that's by design, man. Then I got to come home. The woman, she's got to come home. She's got 2 or 3, 4 hours to cook and then back off into the bed to the same old system, man. You went from the cotton field to the factory or to the store. It's that slavery, man, with the same old, with paint on it though, neon flashing colors. So we got to find some way to love ourselves so that we could do something better for ourselves and stop being depressed and stressing ourselves, thinking about tomorrow. You could pray about it, but when you pray, know for sure you got to be about the word of the Lord. Because being about the word of the Lord, that's the only way that the blessing's going to come through. And as he begin to bless you, you draw nigh to him, he'll draw nigh to you. But he said, cleanse your hands. Stop being double-minded. Okay? So, Matthew 6:34, take therefore no thought for tomorrow shall take thought for itself. For the things of itself. Tomorrow, don't worry about itself. Tomorrow is going to be there. It's going to come, it's going to be there. And whatever is going to happen is going to happen. But today, we just got to deal with today. And today, we got to start trying to find something positive. You got to start finding something positive. Because when you go into depression, you don't take care of yourself. Some people, they won't wash themselves. You won't clean yourself. You won't clean your house because you're in thought. And things that you think doesn't matter, it does matter. Something broken, you won't fix it. The little things. You ever fix something and you was like, man, you felt good because you fixed it? Or something small got fixed and it's small, but because it was fixed, it meant a lot. You can do those things for yourself. You have to create this environment and atmosphere for yourself. Sometimes we depend on somebody else to show us some love. Right? Right. We depend on somebody else to show us some love. When we got to be the first person to show ourselves some love. When the last time you treated yourself to a decent meal, something that you paid for out of your pocket, and it tasted good? When the last time you went someplace to where you wanted to go? I want to go here. That is not a sin, man. To go someplace nice. Don't go and buy nothing unlawful, and don't go on the Sabbath day or rest or on the high day. Don't cheat yourself. I got a brother I love being around, man. That's because he ain't cheat. He don't cheat himself. I have to stop him or he'll spend all his old money. Little money. Not little money, but he'll spend his money up. He ain't cheap. We go to a restaurant, we go here, we'll go there, we'll go shopping. When last time you went shopping and you bought yourself something? Now those of you that your little money, not little money, but your money tight, I ain't trying to talk you into going to splurge it. I ain't trying to talk you into putting yourself in the hole. But something else you can do, you can save, right? You can save. You can save, accumulate your money over a long period of time. I always tell you it's what? It's yours. It's yours. You save it, right? You save it. It'll be there in a jar, in a sock, in the mattress, in the bank, wherever you choose in the safe. It's yours. You'll always be able to go there and get it. Then you can buy something that you want for yourself. Whether it's an outfit, a piece of jewelry, a garment, you can do that to do something for yourself. A lot of times people don't do that. Who was the last? If you did something for yourself and it made you feel good most recently, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3. Just 3 people. See? So y'all understand the question. You intentionally did it. You intentionally did it for yourself. And you did it for yourself. It made you feel good. 4. Okay. That's still not enough of us. So y'all made yourself happy even with that moment. The rest of us, not even myself. I haven't did anything for myself. Yes, I did. I can remember now. But sometimes it's the little things that keep you going. Okay? It's the little things. So don't worry about it. So now let's understand, and then we're going to go back to Ecclesiastes 30. Every day has an amount that a person has to deal with. Tomorrow is too much. You don't want to deal with tomorrow right now. That's too much. You know how people always be like saying the Lord ain't going to give you more than you can handle. So he don't give you the stress of 2 days like he do on the Sabbath, the bread of 2 days. He don't give you understand the burden of 2 days. Just today. Sometimes we have to, sometimes we can't control thinking about tomorrow, but you have to learn to. And you got to find things, people, positive people, that you could be around that'll take your mind away from that. All right? So that's what it says, sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. Sufficient means that's a certain amount unto the day. It's a certain amount of evil in every day. Okay, so let's go back to Ecclesiastes 30. All right, Monica. What's up? Brother Patrick, shalom. So we're going in the scriptures about loving yourself, Antonio. About loving yourself. Before we get back to here, let's get, is that Galatians? Go to the book of Galatians. Galatians chapter 6 and verse 4.
This is Galatians chapter 6 and verse 4. But let every man prove his own work.
Right. So now we always teaching and preaching the commandments. But this work is referring to doing something to make yourself happy. So let's use this in perspective. Let me make sure that I'm going to do something that comforts myself. Something lawful. I'll give you some examples. I love listening to music. I love music. It could be 12 o'clock at night. And I could be tired. But boy, don't let me start jamming. I'm going to destroy my following day because I'll be up for the next 3 hours. Listening to music. Something else I take pleasure in. Watering my lawn. Yeah, brothers, I already know. Why is that? I mean, it's It's soothing. It's something that slows the pace down. It slows me down because it takes time. It slows me down. I'm not thinking about, issues, problems, situations. Right now, I'm just thinking about myself. Sometimes we do have to think about ourselves. So you have to find your happy medium on, what do some of y'all brothers like to do? Nobody?
I haven't tried, so I like to sew.
You like to sew, brother. Learn that. Okay, learn how to sew. Okay. Anybody else? All right. Nobody else. They don't like to do nothing. Y'all brothers are some sad cats, man. It's all work and no play. Photography. Somebody says photography. Yeah, I like to take pictures too. The only thing is that taking the pictures, I'm never in the picture. I'm never in the picture. Okay, you like to listen. Usually I say like to listen to music, make beats. Damon said play his game. All right. Like to listen to music. Okay. Your music be loud, brother. Old school R&B. Take it serious. Okay. All right. So now this is how we're gonna bring it in, because we already got the works of the law. Okay, we got the works of the law. So let's say that we have the works of the law. Okay. So let every man prove his own work. Okay, and this perspective that we're talking about is doing something for ourselves, making ourselves happy. Sometimes you just cannot rely on somebody else to pick you up. Go ahead.
And then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone.
Then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone. Okay? What does that mean? And then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone. He gonna be proud of himself. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're going to be proud of himself. See the word rejoicing in there? You're going to be happy that you say, hey, I did this. Now, weightier matters, it's always good to take advice. Weightier matters, like, oh, I'm going to buy a house, I'm going to buy a car. Weightier matters, you always want to take advice. But there are, things that you could do to uplift yourself. Then you're going to have rejoicing in yourself. Go ahead.
And not in another.
And not in another. You just doesn't need somebody else to, salute you or tell you you look nice. When you groom yourself, you don't have to wait for somebody else to look nice. You can groom yourself to the point to where, you did it, you like the way you look, you know that you look nice. Whether it's the putting up on the clothes, the combing of the hair, how many of us care about our hygienes? Care about your hygienes. Okay, that's everybody. So, you could take precautions like that. Work on your skin, make sure that you're not, you having clear skin. Stuff like that. And doing things to clear it up, finding out, okay, well, is something that I'm eating, does that break me out? Something that I'm drinking, does that do something? What about our teeth? If you're having brown teeth or yellow teeth, you're not brushing enough, you can take steps to clean the stains off your teeth. Go to the dentist. Use baking soda. That does it. You understand? Stop drinking coffee and teas. Yes, you like tea. Yes, you like coffee. Well, what is it doing though? It's giving you bad breath. it's giving you brown teeth, and you don't want brown teeth. You need those teeth. So what do? You got to give something up to get what you want. Then you start seeing that shade clear up. How's that gonna make you feel? That's gonna make you feel good, man. It's gonna make you feel good. These are the things that uplift you. These are the things that nobody talks about, but they have to be talked about, and we have to be inspired to take these actions, to do something about ourselves. Before we change that subject, and I bet a lot of people fall short, but how many times a day should we brush? What do you say? They say 2 or 3. Okay. Right. It should be after every meal. It should be after every meal. After every time you eat something, you should brush. And if you did, your teeth would be white or without stains. They might not be white, but without stains, food stains, less cavities, because the acids and sugars and sweets that's in our foods, they putting our teeth under battle, man. And you need those things. So, but at least, you should go twice a day. In the morning time, once you get up, before you go to bed. Don't go to bed without brushing your teeth, man. Because you leave, you leave the stuff and then floss too. You leave the foods and the sugars that formulate, that paste, that formulate, and they create cavities. Cavities create bad breath. You ain't gonna like it, when your teeth start hurting and stuff like that. But I can ask, which I'm not gonna ask, how many of us got cavities? Half of us probably got cavities. Why is that? Because we're doing it. We're going to sleep without brushing. So, do that. A bright, pretty smile. Everybody in here got a nice smile. You see you on your smile, you got a nice smile. But the things that you do for yourself will bring happiness to you. And you'll be able to feel good about yourself to the point to where you won't need somebody else to say, hey, feel good. I'm trying to make you feel good. Or you look nice. Or you did the right thing. You ain't gonna, that's gonna come. But it has to first come because we put the work. Don't forget the fluoride. We were told it was good for us, but it's not right. I don't brush with toothpaste that has fluoride in it. I use the Tom's toothpaste. It's not fluoridated. So try to graduate to the toothpaste without fluoride in it. It's a little bit more expensive, but average tube of toothpaste costs how much? $3. Some say $1, $2. Yeah. So I just bought a tube of Tom's about a week ago. I think I paid almost $5 for it. And while we're on that subject, you're using too much toothpaste. How much does it take to brush the size of a pea? They tell you that because they know about the fluoride that's in it. They don't try to poison it. Although they hate us, you understand, they selling it to their own people. So the dentist is telling you that you need the size of a pea, but you're not listening. You watch Colgate commercial tell you how much to use. and you put a whole you make a boat on top of the thing, and you foamed all around your mouth. You're like, surely I'm clean now. See? And you spit up, and you just spit 50 cents out. All your toothpaste is down the drain. My children have toothpaste, man, and in the sink. When I go in, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just take the toothpaste up. And when they go around like skunk breath, they can be like, Dad, where's the toothpaste? I'm telling you, that y'all gets to me. I'm sitting here thinking about all type of inventions that would just let out the size of one pea. Maybe I should just cap it all up into capsules and squeeze a capsule on top of your tooth. I'm around here trying to make it happen, man. I'm trying to save. I'm trying to stretch. We gotta, you know. That would bring some happiness to me. You know, for real. You know, if you only use a pea size, that make that tube stretch. I sound like. I sound like Julius from Everyone That Hates Chris. He on the toothpaste.
He be on everything.
He be on that. Yeah, right. And the soap. Hey, wash your brand new soap, man. Brand new bar of soap down the shower. I would find happiness if they just bring it out the shower with them, you know. So that water run down. I'm sitting and listening at the door. That's water. My soap is going down the drain. Children, man. Y'all expensive. So let's lose that. I guess we're finished with this, right? Back to Ecclesiastes 30. Ecclesiastes 30 and 21 again.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 30 and 21. Give not over thy mind to heaviness, and afflict not thyself in thine own counsel.
Right, and afflict not thyself in your own counsel. Right. Because what are your own counsel going to do? And don't tell you more than 7 times than the people that sit in the high tower. That's evident. What is your own counsel going to do? Somebody that knows what your own counsel, from experience, what did your own counsel do?
Right. Basically, through constant thinking, you make wrong decisions. Like your own counsel, sometimes you do stressing out over certain things. You move in haste, or you try to overplan ahead. And, you know.
Nah, not that. Your own counsel. What is your own counsel gonna do?
It's going to discourage you.
That's right. You thought about that? Your counsel did that to you. See? That's exactly what we're looking for. Because that's exactly what it's going to do. Trash can? Was that back here? It's the key. Or you just gonna go out that way? Excuse us. So he said it's going to discourage you. Okay, let him. He got that. Listen. Your own counsel will discourage you. You can't help you in some situations you can't help yourself. You're gonna need somebody else. Do you understand that? You're gonna have to get some help. You gotta talk to somebody. Okay. Where we at?
21, 30, 21.
Right. Afflict not thyself in thy own counsel. Go ahead.
Verse 22. The gladness of the heart is the life of man.
The gladness of the heart is the life of man. Okay? So, the gladness of the heart is going to cause you to do what? Coupled with the scriptures. The gladness of the heart coupled with the scriptures is going to cause you to do what? Remember, it says it is the life of man. So it's going to cause you to live. The gladness of the heart coupled with the scriptures is going to cause you to live. Ecclesiastes chapter 38. And verse 18.
Ecclesiastes 38 and 18. For of heaviness cometh death.
Right. Heaviness bring what?
Death.
Right. That's why the scriptures is teaching you. What is it teaching you? What we just read in 21 or 22. That gladness of the heart is the life. What was that? Okay. Heaviness brings death. So you have to love yourself. You can't go around with a heavy spirit, being disappointed within yourself, upset with yourself, letting yourself down. You can't do that. Ecclesiastes 38 and 18 tells you heaviness cometh death. Go ahead.
And the heaviness of the heart breaketh strength.
And the heaviness of the heart, that's the mind. So you're going around with heavy things on your mind, things that you can't get, you can't do. You got to find happiness in the things that you can control. Because the other stuff that you can't control, what does it do? It breaks its strength. Right. It's going to break your strength to do what? Excuse me. It's going to break your strength to do what? Think real life. You're trying to guess what I want to hear. If you've been in a situation or you've seen somebody else in a situation, how do they feel? It's going to break their strength to live. There are people in the truth that are right, or to endure, that don't want to live or turn back, don't want to continue. You got to get rid of the heaviness. You got to get rid of the stuff that you can't control. And you got to find the thing that you can control. You got to learn to love what you have and not go off lusting on what you don't have. Go ahead.
Verse 19. In affliction also sorrow remaineth.
Right. In affliction, sorrow remaineth. What's another word for sorrow? Think about it. Sadness, okay. That's another word we're looking for. Distress, something else. In affliction, also sorrow. disappointment, depression. Yeah. He said it. Regrets. Wrong way.
G.
Regrets. Why it's so important to get it away from you? Because how long does regrets stay with us once it formulates? Forever. Forever. So that's why we got to be very careful on how we deal with the mind. How we deal with our mind, how we deal with our spirit, how we deal with our life. We got to be positive. Because once you understand that affliction, that heaviness come, it's going to bring sorrows, it's going to turn into regret. You're going to have them regrets. So that's why we have to educate ourselves with, let me enjoy life, love. First, let me learn to love myself so that I could be a different person. Okay? Childhood. Children, you should be able to enjoy the childhood that the Father has provided through your household. And the things that are at a no, no means no. No means no. And then sisters, although every brother run his house differently, then you have to learn to love. Now pay attention. Like that. You have got to learn to love the environment that you're in based upon the spirit that the Most High gave to the man. Because a week ago we went over the lifestyle of the Rechabites and stuff like that. And Jonadab Jonadab was the grandfather, and he gave it to his son Rechab, and Rechab had given it to his family and their wives. And so the wives they married into this life that it's like, we can't do this and we can't do that. But did they grudge about it? The answer was no. So since they couldn't live a life of having wine or whatever other guidelines that they had, what did they do to enjoy themselves? Well, I'm sure it's not written, but we can also probably formulate an opinion that they had to enjoy the life and liberty and pursuit of happiness based upon whatever the Most High put in front of them, because they were able to endure in it to the point to where it was so impressive that he brought the prophet Jeremiah, and set an example to the prophet. So when you know the household is setting the example to the prophet, when the people are supposed to listen to the prophet. Do y'all understand this thing? Because that's nothing small. This household set an example for the prophet. He's the prophet of God who God spoke to. And they just a family. There's a squirrel. They just living. And the Lord is like, listen, they setting examples. But I tell you what, Jeremiah, they ain't going to never want for somebody to stand before me. They going to always have somebody. You get what's being said? So that lifestyle, they found happiness in the things that they could do. And they learned to love themselves in doing so. And they made the best out of it. So sisters, where you have to wear a head cover, make the best out of it. Where you have to wear a dress and you can't wear blue jeans, make the best out of it. Whatever the Father gives to you, make the best of it. Make the best out of it and love doing it. Don't just want to do it. I mean, actually love, enjoy doing it, because the things that we have to do are the comeliness of the Father. Meaning that's his beautification upon us being his creature, his creation. God created us. We're, you know, I'm just hoping you understand that. So you got to get rid of that. It'll break at your strength. So with Ecclesiastes 38 and 18, it'll break your strength. It'll break your desire. While in the truth, and you have to keep the laws, if you can't find happiness, you'll be like, I'm not succeeding. I'm not having success. I'm not doing too good. I'm struggling. And a lot of brothers be feeling like, I'm struggling. Well, you're only struggling because you're feeling that you're not having success. I got to keep the laws. I can't do nothing. That's the worst thing a person can say, I can't do nothing. You can do something. You have to find something that you like. You have to be a get-upper and go get it. You have to find something lawful that you can do. You're willing to keep the commandments. Well, if you're willing to keep the commandments, then don't gripe about it. Now go do something for yourself. I like watching long movies. I'm telling you about me so that you can see some of the things that's acceptable that you can find entertaining for yourself. And say, oh, okay, I like that. Before this truth, I used to like to go in the middle of the afternoon when the show was empty. Just go sit in there by myself. Nobody knew I did that. But I would go by myself, sit in there in the middle of the afternoon. Then I start taking my wife. You can do anything lawful that you want to do. Just find the time. Take the time. Go off and do it. So that you can find your life pleasurable and acceptable. You know, I'm living for nothing. All I gotta do is this. I'm stuck in this truth. You ain't stuck in nothing. I'm stuck in this truth. You know what the Lord said? Somebody feel like that? A dispensation gonna be given unto you. He gonna let you go. You stuck. No, you not. He gonna give you up. So what do you do in the truth? Do something that you like. Go get your hair done. Go buy a pair of shoes. Go get you a garment. Go buy some nice fringes to go on your garment. And if you don't like the rope, which we all like the rope, it's a fringe. But you can go get some tassels. You can go get bells, balls. You can go get anything. Do something pleasant for yourself to bring you around. Buy yourself a gift. I used to buy myself gifts all the time. But you got to get rid of that heaviness that's up off of you. Because it'll bring regrets. And then you'll be blaming it on the truth. And you the person that was lazy. In affliction, also sorrow remaineth. Read the next part.
And the life of the poor is the curse of the heart.
And the life of the poor is the curse of the heart. Meaning what? Somebody explain it to me. And the life of the poor is the curse of the heart. The answer to it, sometimes I say it's self-explanatory. This one is not self-explanatory. In order to understand this, you have to slow it down, and then you have to think about reality. So let's go through it. We're talking about people, and we're talking about loving yourself, right? And we're talking about lifting up yourself and not dealing with heaviness so that you're not living with a life of regrets. So now we get to this precept, and it says, and the life of the poor. So thus far, right here is talking about what type of person, Shai? A poor person. Okay. So now since I've explained all of that, y'all can give me the rest. It says, is the curse of the heart. What does that mean?
Is when you condemn yourself.
What about when you condemn yourself?
You would let yourself go, tell yourself you're not worthy. You really just
Okay.
you make yourself less than what you really are because you don't have.
You got a fire, but it's a baby fire.
Yeah.
We're looking for a flame. Whoosh. So how do you incorporate the poor in that? Okay. Poor in spirit. Okay. Well, I'm considering both of them, but we can deal with that. It's going to end up being the same. What about it, though? What about the poor in spirit?
Can I help them?
Sure.
I think
Short version.
the poor in spirit is going into the curse of the heart aspect, because we established that the poor was a person. So not having like you would want,
Not having no spiritual, they're the same. Go ahead.
then the curse of the heart come with all the sorrows and regrets, because you constantly minded the things you don't have, and it caused you to feel some type of way, even to the point of turning back, even to the point of everything that we explained before. Just in a short version.
So what does that mean, though? I don't think you said what it means. How did they get poor? I just gave you the answer.
Yeah. Because
No, not you. Them now. How'd they get poor? Dre? How'd they get poor? If you don't want to end up poor, whether out on the street poor or poor in spirit, to where you don't even have to drive now to do it. How'd they get poor? I'm giving you the answer. Both, it doesn't matter. Huh? The answer's in the precept. It's the thing you're trying to figure out. I told you it was not self-explanatory. Because of the curse of the heart. The heart got him. The heart drove him. It told you to drive it far from you. In 20. Take no heaviness to heart, drive it away. If you don't drive it away, what's going to happen? It's going to make you what? Congregation is going to make you what?
Poor.
It's going to make you poor. And how many poor people you know are uplifted, feeling happy? Do you ever see them? Do you see the poor in spirit and the poor in heart and the poor when they're out there with the sign? Do you see the countenance on their face? Right. How'd it get that way? Because they didn't have the mindset to drive it afar from them. Most of them don't have the commandments. I'd like to say all of them, but we could be wrong. So we're going to be gracious, right? You know? So if you without the commandments, and then now the Most High is against you, you're not going to have no success. You didn't love yourself. Because anybody that loves themselves would keep the commandments. But we're talking about us, because we do keep the commandments at this point. And with us keeping the commandments, now we want to know, how should I love myself? The first thing to do is get your mind right. And drive adversity, controversy, tribulation. Drive those things, those negative attitudes, mind states, drive it away from you, man. Get it away. Say, get the hell away. Get back. And then tell yourself something positive. This is how it's supposed to be. This is how it's supposed to be. No, I'm not weak. I'm what? Strong. That's right. I'm not weak. I'm strong. Right. I'm strong. Okay? Because if you do not, it tells you right here, you're going to end up poor, man. The life of the poor, how'd they get there? Because of the curse of the heart. That mind just drove them down to the ground. We going around calling it depression. Okay? Verse 20.
Take no heaviness to heart.
Take no heaviness to heart. So now, if somebody says, take no heaviness to heart, well, that's the precept. But if somebody says something to you, if someone says something to you, and they ask you not to take it to heart, they're asking you not to take, what's another word for take, not to take it to heart? We're asking you not to take it how? Personal. We're asking you not to take it personal. Right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So heaviness come around. You go through something. Check it out. Stay with me. You go through something today. Just like this brother here. He said, I went through something today. He got stronger. You go through something today. When the scriptures say take no heaviness to heart, what is it telling you? Don't take it how? Personal. Don't take it personal. Because it's something that could possibly, if you're not mindful and watchful, it's something that could stay with you, right? So the Lord said, don't take it personal. Don't feed into it too much. Don't give it too much energy. Because we're trying to operate up here. And heaviness always brings you down low. It makes your spirit low. You can't love yourself in the spirit of depression. You yield yourself unto it, and that's not what the Father's saying to do. He's saying keep it moving, right? Let that stuff roll off for you. Everybody understand that, right? Let it roll off for you. Get rid of it. It come, it happened. If it's too much to bear or you don't have the answer, then you reach out for help. You're going to get words of exhortation and inspiration. Exhortation means somebody's going to encourage you to do the next step. Go ahead and get up. Just like our children. When they fall down, if you teach them how to ride a bike and they ride it all crooked and then they end up turned over and they're skint up, you don't leave them on the ground. The first thing you do is you drag them away from up under the bike. You look at the sore. You evaluate it. You talk to them while they're on the ground because they're stinging and they can't move fast. They hurting. They shell shock. Then I'm going to get you up. Come on, stand up. Then you have to talk with them. You pick the bike up. Let them know it's okay. Put it on the kickstand. Then you start talking to them and say, hey, this is something that you can do. You failed because of this. You cannot do that. You hurt this. You have that dialect. That's exhortation for them to get up, try it again without having that downfall. That's what we go through. And don't take it to heart. Because if the child took it to heart, they'll never ride again. They'll never ride again. But once they get it, they're not crashing every time they ride down the street. You know what I'm saying? They're not doing it. They only fall or crash if they're doing something goofy, not paying attention. But for the most part, you see them flying down the street on that bicycle, man. You like, you gonna get hurt. You gotta slow down. You moving too fast. But we don't know that we used to do the same thing, and we like, I got this. Handlebars, you know what I'm saying? I got this, right? Right, and they, in fact, they do have it, right?
Yes, sir.
They do. And we be sitting on eggs. That's the same way that we're going to be once, once we have that exhortation a part of our life. You can't take heaviness to heart. You can't take it personally. You got to keep it moving. We're bigger than that. Things happen. LIG. Let it go. You lose money. You lose friends. You lose family. You lose jobs. You lose companions. So many different heavy things happen to our life. And that exhortation is going to be right there to tell you that, hey, come on, get up. It's time to keep moving. Okay? To add to that, it's Ecclesiasticus 37 and 12.
Ecclesiasticus 37 and verse 12. But be continually with the godly man, whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Lord, whose mind is according to thy mind, and will sorrow with thee if thou shalt miscarry.
Right, he's going to sorrow with you if you make a mistake. Okay? He's going to sorrow with you. So now, let's see, did we finish this? Okay, lose 38. Go back to Ecclesiastes 30. Ecclesiastes 30 and 22.
Ecclesiastes 30 and 22. The gladness of the heart is the life of man, and the joyfulness of a man prolongeth his days.
Right. And the joyfulness of a man prolongeth his days. So remember, with this, we can't have one without the other. Right? Right. So, yes, the laws that we already know, now we're learning that we got to add joyfulness to it. Everybody understand that? Okay, so you got to get some happiness. You got to get some happiness going on. Verse 23.
Love thine own soul.
You see that? Love, man. Love your own soul. Love yourself. Okay? Love yourself. And you know some of the things that you like, which we talked about earlier? Go ahead and shut that door all the way out. The stuff that you like, I asked some of us earlier, what do you like to do? Nobody, you couldn't think of anything. What's up, Donald? You couldn't think of anything. But y'all know some stuff that y'all like. Lawful stuff. Those are some of the things that you got to try and incorporate. That's why every chance we get, we're trying to do something as a body. How many like bowling? It's okay. I have fun because I'm with y'all. If I wasn't with y'all, then I wouldn't be going bowling. Bowling for dollars. Right? Y'all share the video. Tag somebody in it. So you gotta love your own soul. Okay? before we move on, I don't know what's over my eye, y'all. I'm sorry. Love your spirit. How many of us love our spirit? You can love your spirit even more. Bring the commandments back in. And then that's when that Galatians gonna click in concerning rejoicing over over the goodness. I'm keeping the commandments. You're gonna feel good about yourself because you're keeping the commandments. You're doing the right thing. You're in the right place. You're making the right decision. You're not going to the wrong place. Can't go to you ain't gonna love your soul sitting in the hot seat. Y'all know what this hot seat is? Correction. You ain't gonna love your soul sitting in correction. The scriptures say that a scorner loveth not one that reproveth him. Love your spirit so much better when using a Christian, right? A lot of people that, in the truth for a small amount of time, a few years in, they start practicing it. They have this overwhelming love for the Most High. But then when the days begin to wear on you and the years are endless, and the trials get tough, you still gotta have that same love for the Most High. You gotta learn how to live. So love your own soul. Love your own self. Okay? You got to respect yourself. You got to establish Ecclesiastes 41. This is it. Ecclesiastes 41 and 12.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 41 and 12. Have regard to thy name.
Have regard. Have regard to thy name. What's your name? Oh, my name is Reuben Bunyashala. Okay, Reuben Bunyashala. What type of brother are you? Well, I love the Lord. I'm fervent in spirit. I'm happy. Happy-go-lucky. I love my people. I help, I this, I that. What does others say about you? Well, if others are saying the same thing, that's good. Right? Right. There's a proverb that I want. Let's see, what is that? Proverbs. Just go to Proverbs. How's it worded? It's worded, it's dealing with the name and about others praising you. It's about the mouth. No, it's Proverbs. Proverbs 27 and 2.
This is Proverbs chapter 27 and verse 2. Let another man praise thee, and not thine own mouth. A stranger, and not thine own lips.
Right. So what does others say about Reuben? Or Dana? Or any other sister's name? It says, let another man praise thee, and not thy own mouth, a stranger, and not thy own lips. So, loving yourself, It's having respect for yourself to the point to where it's going to bring forth the praises of somebody else's lips when they speak about you. They're going to say good things about you. True story. I can't think of what year it was. It was in the 90s. So we, I guess what y'all would want to call a conference now. So all the schools, we went out to California. I guess, was that maybe Atlanta? I think it was Atlanta. We were in Atlanta, and there was this older lady. You know, I was a lot younger, but there was this older lady from Detroit there. And when she saw me, she's like, "You Shamshawan, I finally met you." She said, I heard so many good things about you. And a complete stranger, I just broke out in tears. I'm emotional anyway, I'm sorry. But I just broke out in tears. In her arms, she had gave me a hug, and I just broke out in tears. And I guess it was because I always knew and understood this, that have regard for your name. She was old enough to be my mother. But, you know, we should all work hard to have a good name. And I was working hard because I never want anything bad. I never want anything bad to be said about me. And everybody should work the same way. I don't want nothing bad said about me. Those of you that's out there that's saying, I don't care what people say about me, kiss my behind, so on and so forth, that's off. You're not supposed to feel like that. You don't care what people say about you. The scriptures say have regard. This is loving yourself right here. You don't want to be caught up in no scandal. You don't want to get caught up in no he say, she say. You want to get caught up in no wickedness. You understand? Scriptures say, hey man, have regard. Care about yourself. Don't just live any type of way. This is a part of loving yourself. So the next time you get ready to do something, you should be thinking about how is this going to make me look? How is this going to make me sound? Okay? So let's go back to Ecclesiastes 41 and verse 12 again.
This is Ecclesiastes 41 and 12. Have regard to thy name, for that shall continue with thee above 1,000 great treasures of gold.
Lord, right? Do you think we'll ever wear out 1,000 great treasures of gold? No. He said, a good name is going to continue with you. It'll be there forever. You want a person to say, that's a good person. That's a good dude. All right? So what is this? Jarael? He said, come, my family speak to people about me is nothing but good things. And my sister said she wants to be like me. Good, brother. All praises. You're setting an example. Jezreel said in the beginning, is this supposed to happen? Nah, it's not going to happen in the beginning. In the beginning, that's a good question. It says, when you're doing right and they speak evil of you. Right, that's just Satan and them coming out. But see, you're going to be able to prove all of them wrong when you're not doing drugs, you're not fornicating. They're going to sit back. They're going to sit back and set little traps for you to see what you're going to do. They're going to offer you drugs. You want to get high? Here, hit the joint. They're going to offer you, oh, you want a double date? You know, this girl, her man got a nigga. Her man got, his dude, they're going to offer you all of that. They're going to sit back and see if you still like them. They call it regular. The Bible calls it wicked. They're going to sit back and they're going to, see what bait does it take. When you're hungry, they're going to sit back and see, did you go? And if you didn't go, did you send for a plate? Because sending for a plate is the same as going. They're going to say, okay. It's the same thing, man. But once you suffer all those contradictions against you, and you ain't doing drugs, and because when you keep the commandments, the Most High is going to uplift you. The Most High is going to bless you. The Most High is going to do everything that he say he's going to do according to his will. He's going to begin to do those things for you. And when he began to do those things for you, that's truly called blessing. You're going to go through the furnace. Now, what's happening to gold that's tried in the furnace? It's being melted down. You see the shiny part, but you don't understand that that gold is burning. Oh, it's heated to a couple thousand degrees. So it's dying. You put anything to that type of temperature, it's dead, man. And then it's separating the impurities. So in this truth, in the beginning, when you're going through all of that, that's what's happening. You being purged, cleansed. And everybody that's not with the program, they gonna fall off. Just like the gold separated from the dirt that was in it. But once it chills and it cools off, that thing gonna shine, boy. And that's after a while. So then you're gonna begin to shine. And when people, they're gonna start seeing the Most High helping you, bless you. You get the job, you get the transportation, you get a place to stay. You're on your feet. You got a stable mind. You got a stable way of thinking. Your conversation is about the fear of the Lord, and you're not doing that. Then you're gonna turn around, and they're gonna be like, "I want to be like you." And that's why the brother was like, "Hey, his family is saying that they want to be like him." All the commandment keepers trust and believe. The sinners envy you. They want to be like you. They just have so many spirits on them that they cannot break free. And it may not even be meant for them to be like you. Because remember, everybody got a role to play. You got sinners that's going to die. God, he created them. He knew that they were going to sin from the beginning. He knew that they were going to die in sin. But your life is for the world of Israel that's meant to repent. So when people see you, they're going to want to be like you. They're going to know that you are the walking word that's made flesh. And that's why you got to perfect the other side that the Spirit is bringing out. The part about being happy. The part about bringing the joy into your life. Because they need to see that you can function in this truth and that you can like it. And that you're not walking around, okay, I'm doing the Sabbath. You're not grudging about it, but that you understand that it's a part in the truth, that you can do whatever you want to do in the truth according to the will of God. Go ahead, what you got, bro?
So like when you was talking about,
Talk up.
basically my question was, like, is it like no matter how hard you try, if it's meant for you to make it to the kingdom, like no matter how hard you try, like to do sin or whatever, are you still like, is the Most High still gonna like continue to punish you and afflict you until you just like stop?
Right. If you're doing something wrong. Just like a father, his children. So his question was, they gotta talk loud. Because they like, what he say? What he say? His question was, say it again.
Like when you're in sin, like is it like no matter how hard you try, if it's meant for you to make it, is he going to continue to punish you until you stop?
Right. Yeah, we read that all the time in 1 Corinthians 11. I think that's 33. 1 Corinthians 11, somewhere around 20, 32, 33, that it says that when we are judged, we are chastened of the Lord, that we should not be condemned with the world. You understand? Right. So the Lord will chasten you to avoid condemning you with the world. Yeah. And he'll continue to chasten you until the bell goes off. Or you humble yourself to have that listening ear to stop sinning. But if it's meant for you to make it, you're going to make it. You just going to be beat up. Boy, you're going to take a beating too. Why would you take a beating on House of Israel? For no reason. You get it? You understand? So it's best for us to give the more earnest heed, listen, to apply. And then once we do that, we're gonna make a change. Okay, go ahead.
Right, and to add to that, the catch though is we don't know who's predestinated. So, not for a person to think that they can continue to just be wicked. The Most High gonna allow me to hurt anyway. You still gotta live not knowing if the Most High gonna accept you. So for a person to just say, "Well, I'm predestinated, I can just continue and eventually get it," no, we can't. We can't take that chance either. We just got to make sure that we stay on the path that the Most High point us, hoping and proving if we are the predestinated one.
All right. Okay, what is it? So, stay here. Ecclesiastes 41 and 13.
Ecclesiastes 41 and 13. A good life hath but few days, but a good name endureth forever.
Right. Self-explanatory. Some part of it. A good life hath but a few days. What good life hath but a few days? A life of sin. Okay. You have benefits in everything. You might have you an Acura. Some of them like, I got an Acura. A good life have but a few days, but a good name endure forever. Why is the good name? Why the good name but not the good life? Because what comes with having the good name?
Sacrifice.
Okay, the actions. The actions through faith. Okay? Everybody clear with that? Right, good deeds. Gonna give you the good name. Go back to Ecclesiastes 30.
Ecclesiastes chapter 30 and 23.
Hello. Ecclesiastes 30. Yeah, go ahead.
Ecclesiastes 30 and 23. Love thine own soul, and comfort thy heart. Remove sorrow far from thee, for sorrow hath killed many, and there is no profit therein.
So when it says can comfort thy heart, isn't that the same as saying rule your spirit? This is an action. This is a deed. This is something that you have to do. You have to be able to comfort your heart. Okay? Remove the sorrow from thee, for sorrow have killed many, and ain't no profit in that. There is no profit therein. Go ahead.
Verse 24. Envy and wrath shorten the life, and carefulness bringeth age before the time.
What is carefulness?
Worry.
Worry. Yes. And listen, so carefulness bringeth age. What is it going to affect? I want y'all to pay attention on this. Carefulness, the word for carefulness is to worry. So worrying bringeth age. What does that affect? To worry. What does that affect? Your countenance. It affect your body, your countenance, the way that you look. You know how some people, they'll be younger, they'll be young, but they'll look very older. Why do you think? A lot of times we say that it's the drugs, and the drugs do it. But some of them, they go off into drugs because they're trying to deaden whatever situation that they're in. But it tells you right here, worrying to make your black crack. It'll bring age. Yeah, you're black. You know how people say, black don't crack. Well, you'll be young for a long time, man. Look, we have the ability to age slowly when we live right. We take care of ourselves. It says, but before the time. Okay? Everybody clear with that? Right. So if you don't want to age before your time, don't get into worrying. Verse 25.
A cheerful and good heart will have care of his meat and diet.
A cheerful and a good heart will have care for his meat and diet. Right there. It's talking about the way that you eat. Loving yourself. You go to the grocery store and you see somebody jamming. They got EBT, you can tell. They got 2 baskets full of food. Nobody can buy all that food. But man, what's in it? That'd be the heartbreaker right there, right? Y'all see all the stuff that be in it? All boxes and everything from the frozen section. Pizza and what's the little squares, ravioli, and what else? What all that stuff be in there, man? Pizza rolls, Hot Pockets, Pop-Tarts, potato chips, soda, juices, all kind of stuff, man. You ain't never seen no tomatoes and avocados and beans and rice, lettuce, kale, spinach, dandelion, oranges, and you don't see all of those things, man, inside of the cart. The good stuff inside of the cart, that cart don't be full then, do it? You put that stuff in there. And it's all that other stuff, man, that you see. And the babies be right behind it, pushing it for mama. Yeah. Nigga. Yeah. The hot wings, Oreo, chicken strips, pork. Pushing that cart. But here, a cheerful and good heart, meaning somebody stable, will have a care for his meat. That means you gonna understand the lawful diet. If you care about yourself, if you love yourself, you gonna put something in your body that's supposed to go in there. Pork chops don't go in the body. It go under the dirt, man. You understand? That's where it goes. It goes under the dirt. It's dead. If you don't have a farm, there's no reason for you to have what? A pig, the swine. There's no reason you don't have a farm, man. So you'd have your meat is dealing with your portions, your all different type of meats, all different type of foods. If you got, if you love yourself, and diet. Diet is the rest of the foods that you consume. Right? Sodium, monosodium, glutamate, corn, fructose, corn syrup, all different type of starches. Be mindful of what you put into your body. When I put something in my body, it needs to say food. You know what I'm saying? It needs to say food. I'm not putting something in my body I can't pronounce it. I got to look it up. That means, doggone it, I know what a potato is. You understand? What type of ingredients is in an apple? Nothing but the apple. Apple. I could put that in here. That's supposed to go in here. But all these labels and titles and bingo bongs that the scientists put together to try and make this stuff last, and then expect me to eat it. Y'all ain't supposed to eat like that. If you love yourself, you ain't supposed to do your body like that. You're doing it because, now check this out. Y'all should feel this. You're doing this because you're young. But the other thing is, we look at older people and you think that you got to get old in order to eat right. Don't y'all know that just take away the swine flesh. Don't you know that a lot of older people that, you find them eating right. Just like I said, take away the part that's there where they eating swine. They'll be eating greens, and instead of frying their food, they'll be baking it and stuff and things like that, because they're trying to watch their diet. They'll be eating vegetables, whether it's corn, some beans, and greens, and all this different type of stuff. They'll be eating right. So, what age bracket they in? They're in the elderly stage, right? They found out, but when they were young, they had that same habit that some of you got, to where you eat everything. You like the trash can. You just throw it in. You know how the trash can, you just put everything in there? You put everything in there. Well, they went through that young stage. And you know what the junk food did for them? It tore them up. It tore them up. And then they learned how to eat. And from the physicians and from their taste buds. They said, oh, this stuff is junk. This ain't no good. This got me too fat. This make me sick. This makes my stomach hurt. This runs my blood pressure up. This does this. This does that. This rotted my teeth. This got my body stinking. Tell me you go to the bathroom and smell dead. Like, dang. You smell dead. All right. We gonna learn. We all learning day by day. It's because it's because what you eat and because of what you drink. That ain't lemonade you letting go. You know, stuff in that bottle, that's what you taking out. You pushing back out. You smell that odor? I bet if your diet consists of what the Father gave you to drink, water and juices and teas, you wouldn't be stinking and smelling like that. You go to the bathroom, minimum, there might be something. Minimum, not maximum. Maximum, something is wrong. Minimum, acceptable. It's possible to go and don't smell nothing. That's best case scenario. But if it's turn it up, that's the meat and diet. And you put into you, that stuff is coming back out. That stuff is bad. You don't have to be older to change the way you start, to change the way that you eat, to care for your flesh. That stuff is destroying your temple. Look what it got them. Bad livers, kidneys, and bladders. Bad organs. Tore their hearts up. It was bad on our people. Now, they sitting at home as our mothers and our grandmothers trying to eat right. Trying to reverse it. You can't call back. You can't turn the hand of time. You can't call back yesterday. Can't do it. But we could do something about it by changing the way that we deal with our meat and diet. We can do something today. The other day, I eat vegan. Everybody, I eat vegan. But I don't hate on meat. I love that y'all eat meat. The lawful meats. Beef, lamb, turkey, stuff like that. That's fine. One day I might. But the other day I'm starving. Oh man, I was so hungry. Didn't know what to do. So I looked in the refrigerator. It made me think about my mom. I looked in the refrigerator and I saw some rice and I saw some string beans. I put them in a bowl together. It was just white rice. Put them in a bowl together, seasoned it with some garlic, seasoned pepper, salt. Put some extra, this brother always talking about oxtails. We're gonna get you some oxtails, brother. Put some extra powder, onion powder, garlic powder on there. That was the best meal. That was the best meal. I mean, it was fire. But I felt about 70. I'm driving to the school. I'm eating some rice and string beans. Everybody else on fried chicken and cheese fries. That was a lot better than any meal I could have bought at some corner hut. It was, harmless. It's just gonna go in. Your body gonna take from it what it's gonna take from it. It ain't gonna do no damage. It's gonna spit right out and keep it moving. It's not hard on your digestive system. Whatever attributes and nutrients in the stuff, they both grow in the field. Ain't no preservatives in rice. It's just rice. Ain't no additives in the beans. But to be honest, I think they try to be slick when it comes to the string with the canned vegetables. I think they put a liquid preservative in there, so I got to keep it 100. They do put a liquid preservative in them cans, and so I'm trying to get around that. I want to grow my own beans. I talked about that on Tuesday, Thursday, one of them days. Nothing's impossible for us, man. We just got to get up off our behind and gather and come together like the scriptures say and put our minds together. You can't grow beans? We don't do canned beans? Okay, baby said we don't do canned beans. We do the bag, ain't no preservatives in it. She said ain't no preservatives in it. Okay, so I'm in the clear. No preservatives. That's good though. But the point is what we have to care. That's a part of loving yourself. Because you also gonna feel good too. And the diet that you eat, you can eat, you know, some of the foods that you eat could make you feel slothful and lazy. When you finish eating, you want to go sit down and let something entertain you. Naturally, when you finish eating, you're supposed to be ready to get up and now move, because food is supposed to be our fuel. Everybody understand that? Food's supposed to be your fuel. So when I eat, I can eat a salad, and now that's my fuel. In the morning, if I eat yogurt and some granola and maybe a fruit smoothie, I'm blazed. I'm on fire. I'm ready to do something. But you stuff that meat in you, and the pancakes and all of that, and the potatoes, it's lawful. But the energy level, the pH in it, the alkaline level in it will be so low that there's no spark in it, you understand, to fuel you. Something about greens that give you energy. Kale is really good. You can eat kale and you be ready to foot race somebody. You give these sisters of kale, they'll be out there with their shoes off, racing each other. What is they on? They on some kale, man. All right, just throw that humor in there, y'all. Y'all gonna race? Give them a salad. So, but anybody, it says, somebody on here says greens have more protein than steak. And that's correct, brother. And I'm going to tell you why I believe that. Who knows why? Greens have more protein than steak. Well, let me say, I ain't going to say I know why, but I understand how. What do the steak eat? They eat the greens. So you're trying to get the protein from the steak, not really realizing that you only second-handing it. You're going through the beef to get it, but you can go straight onto the greens to get the protein. Everybody understand that? Because the cow, they eat the greens. They eat from the grass. Okay. The strongest bulls eat greens. That's right, brother. So, same chapter, Ecclesiastes 30, in verse 14.
This is Ecclesiastes 30 and 14. Better is the poor being sound and strong of constitution than a rich man that is afflicted in his body.
Right. So remember, again, this is going to have something to do with what? Diet. Better is the poor being sound and strong of what? Constitution. What constitution? What constitution? His mental state. Is going into his mental state. All right? And the poor, poverty is not saying he's poor in spirit now, but this is the financial state. Everybody is not going to be in a financial state. There's I think in the freezer, Canada Dry. Then a rich man. So the poor and the rich. Now this rich man got paper. That is what? Afflicted in his body. How does his body get afflicted? Right. He don't have a good diet. He's got money, and he constantly eats whatever he wants to eat, right? He eats on the go. It's bad food. is bad food. This also shows you what concerning rich people. Look at the scriptures. It says, "Now a rich man that is afflicted in his body." What is the Bible telling you? What's up with rich people? They're afflicted in what? They're afflicted in their body. Let the scriptures teach you about the world. You see somebody rich, you think they're going to tell you that they need a liver transplant? You think they're going to tell you they need kidneys? But the Lord said that wealth went to his head, and he afflicted them because of the diet that they was eating. Verse 15.
Health and good estate of body are above all gold.
So we have to know that. Health and good estate of the body is above gold. So that's above, instead of gold, you know, you can turn around, you can end up with silver. You can also end up with paper money. Y'all couldn't possibly looking at precepts back there. I'm hearing food, rattling and stuff. Come on, man. Ecclesiastes chapter 30, verse 15. Health and good estate of the body. Remember, this topic is about loving yourself, or better, or above gold. So now, when you work, do you work for gold? You work for money, right? So if the money is wearing you out, what should you do? What'd you say, work? If the job is wearing you out, if it's destroying your body, then you need to stop. You need to find something that's not killing you. Y'all don't know that it's not about the money. It's about them destroying you. They want to destroy you. Yeah, they want to destroy you. This world they want to break you down. That's the reason why they don't let you go until you what? They figure retirement is at what age? Now you got to ride down the street in a nice car, being like a silverback. You all grade. They dirty. They dirty, man. They dirty. Why not cut you loose when you're about 35 in your prime? You're in your prime. They set the bar up so high. Right then you just ready to die, man. So they keep you until you ready to die. Don't hurt your body. Love yourself. Don't do that to yourself. Health and good estate of the body are above all gold. Okay? Go ahead.
And a strong body above infinite wealth.
And a strong body above infinite wealth. Don't let them play you with the job, Israel. Find something that works for you. That you can serve the Father and you can still earn a living. And you can still and you can still take care of your body. Something breaking your body down, stop it. Say, you might be working in a warehouse. And that warehouse is heavy lifting. You keep on working at heavy lifting because they giving you the gold. You keep talking about how your check is. How's your back going to be? How your knees going to be? How is your countenance going to be? Because it bring age. You know your health is declining because of this job. I see people all the time. Wrist braces, back braces, working these jobs breaking them down. Give them to somebody else. You work them. Meaning, you know, the bosses, the powers that be, they work them. Let them work them. And you find something that's manageable. Don't be greedy for filthy lucre. Because if you're greedy for filthy lucre, man, you're going to get exactly what you're looking for, a broke down body. You know, scriptures teach us to be content with our wages. You want to know what it is to be content with our wages? Like you make a decent amount, so then the Most High, you able to pay the bills, put some to the side, deal, you know, the cost of living, so on and so forth. So then, you know, be content. The only way that you would be looking to, you know, do something different is if you can't provide. Luke 3 is what I'm quoting. Luke 3. Luke chapter 3, verse 12. And 13 and 14.
This is Luke chapter 3 and verse 12. Then came also publicans to be baptized, and said unto him, Master, what shall we do? And he said unto them, Exact no more than that which is appointed you. And the soldiers likewise demanded of him, saying, And what shall we do? And he said unto them, Do violence to no man, neither accuse any falsely.
Well, they don't do that, do they? Doing violence to no man. They're very violent, and they falsely accuse. They put cases on people to get promoted and stuff like that. Go ahead.
And be content with your wages.
So Christ told them to be what? Content. Content with their wages. All right. So the same thing with us. We have to be content with our wages. You're making money, and if it's paying the bills, you're able to push some to the side. You could put food on the table. Then that's okay. But if you're suffering, then you know that all of these things, our success come from the hand of the Father. Then we definitely can ask the Most High to help us. Because, all right, we're struggling. Okay? So if it's not enough, then we ask the Most High to help us out. Okay, but for the most part, you know, Israel, we gotta learn to be content with our wages and not destroy ourselves over the money. We go back to Ecclesiastes chapter 30. Because some of you, Israel, you'll be working 7 days a week. Now, what's those other ships that they be taking? 4 12s. Or 5 15s, whatever it is. You understand? You be working. You be running the machine, falling asleep. You look up, the whole thing bagged up. They have to fire you. So Ecclesiastes 30 and 15. Health and good estate of the body are above all gold, and a strong body above infinite wealth. There is no riches above a sound body, Israel. Love yourself. Don't be working yourself to death. Another thing, your sisters out there that's got to wear pants to work. Find another job. Find another job. Okay. Let's see. where Christ told Israel to love the Most High with all the heart. Yeah, it is 22. It's at 22 and Mark 12. Hey, let's get to 12 though. Mark 12 and 30. Okay. Mark 12 and 29.
This is the book of Mark, chapter 12,
28.
and verse 28.
Right.
And one of the scribes came, and having heard them reasoning together, and perceiving that he had answered them well, asked him, which is the first commandment of all? And Yahushua answered him, the first commandment of all the commandments is, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord.
Right. So the first is to hear Israel, hear the Father. That's the first thing. Hear the Most High. But how do we hear the Most High? It's going to go into it. Go ahead.
Verse 30. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart.
So you're supposed to love the Most High. Now take it. You got a job. You got a good job. Nice job. Okay. For a sister, nice job. $15, $16 an hour. You know, that's a nice job. Like that. Depends on what city you live in, but let's just make that nice for, you know, conscience sake. I know some of you probably make more than that. Okay? But you got the pants on, you got the steel-toe boots on. You know, you might be a forklift driver or welder. They say, I can't do this type of work. They say you can't do this type of work, you know, with a dress or skirt on and stuff like that. It might get caught in the machinery. They got all different type of stuff. First of all, you got to hear it. That's the commandment. And you have to love the Most High with all the heart, all your heart. Okay, your heart is your mind. And there ain't no place for nothing else in there but the love of the Father. Go ahead.
And with all thy soul.
And with all your soul. All your soul, meaning your spirit. Okay, your spirit is alive. So the thing that makes you live, the thing that makes you tick, every action, you're supposed to love the Father. Everything that you do, you're supposed to love the Father. So then, how is it that you're going to not listen, hear, O Israel, with your heart and with your spirit, and do something that's contrary to what the Father told you to do? Okay, we could deal with grace. All right, let's just deal with the fact of this situation. We'll just make it one-dimensional. You're not trying to change because you got years on this job. You learned this, you're not trying to change because you got years on the job. But a person is in that situation, I can't tell you to walk off this situation. I can show you the scriptures and say, love the Father with all thy heart and with all thy soul, which is their spirit in your. Read the next part.
And with all thy mind.
And with all your mind. Go ahead.
And with all thy strength.
And with all your strength. So now strength, that's effort. So now if you're going to love the Father, what would be the first thing that you would have to do, seeing that you got time? You can explain to the job, hey, I'm going against my religion. Call it that for their sake. That can help. You can help them to understand. The same way that you have to call yourself black when you know that black is the color in the paint can and you're not black. So you say, well, hey, you check that box so that they can identify with you. So that they can identify with what you're trying to say, you would say, this is against my religion. You know, this is my right to dress how religiously I believe. I'm being infringed upon. You know, please, let me serve my God. Let me do it this way. They know how a person's supposed to dress. They know but they just might press. So with you loving them with all, what they say, the strength, you will put your energy in trying to do what? Get them to change their mind. If they don't change their mind, the next step is, okay, I wouldn't tell you to walk off, but I would advise you to continue to love the Most High with all your strength and with a heart and a mind, and look for another one. You cannot be loyal to these people because they just broke that trust. They just broke that bond. So at this point, you're like, okay, yes, you got 8 years, but you also have something else that you've established over that time. What is that? Experience. And that means that somebody else is looking for a person with experience. And they've already seen that you had a record of being what? Loyal. So if you have experience and you've been loyal, they notice that they're gonna want you. They will even subside to your list of demands to get you on team, or to get you on board and a part of the winning team, opposed to trying to hire somebody that they got to train that don't know what the hell they doing, or they don't know what the heck they doing, and they're not sure if they're going to continue to come because they don't have a track record of being persistent with anything. But you got 8 years. You understand? You got 8 years. So yeah, they gonna give you that shot. Don't be afraid. Make the transition. Make the lateral move. In a situation like that, just take take counsel. Ask. Lay it out on the table. This is what I'm up against. Okay? But you would have to know and understand that applying the commandments is better than that goal that you're trying to get on that job. What would be the difference if a man had a gig at some type, he had a job someplace, but he had to wear a dress. Soon as you wouldn't like that. You'd be like, yo, man, that's completely off. You got to change that, man. You can't wear that. What would your husband, your man wearing a dress, but he gets out of the dress after work and puts on the pants. What is that dress gonna do to him? Make him effeminate. That dress gonna make him effeminate. It's gonna soften him up. Even though he takes it off at the end of the shift, because he can identify with women and that dress. This goes with that. Now that's on me. See, don't underestimate the power of Satan. Satan is the god of this world. Although the Father owns it and God created Satan, the Most High allows Satan to deceive the ones that don't listen. So he does that. Yeah, he does that. I saw it today, and it just had me thinking. Today I see some guy, he's probably about 6'3", look like about 85, 90 pounds. Cream puff, soft as a donut. Why do a lot of these big guys do that, man? Because people make fun of them. They make fun of them. But who don't make fun of them? The girls don't. Girls embrace them. So it gets, it happens for so long, it gets to the point to where the guys, they don't want to be around fellas because fellas mess them around. Fellas talk about them. So they want to be around girls because girls embrace them. They sit down and they talk with them. and then they jeff with them about, you know, feminine, you know, feminize them and stuff like that. It's the same thing that happens with females. If you're not careful, that masculine spirit would jump on you. And you would try to be feminine when you need to be feminine, but you'll be masculine if you need to be masculine. And that's not how we need sisters. Sisters have to be feminine all the time, and men have to be masculine all the time. So we put people in their proper and correct gender by teaching them literacy, you know, to be literate correctly. Sisters go this way, brothers go that way. Sisters dress like this, brothers dress like that. And when money is involved, don't take the bait. They've been feminizing men for a long time. Used to be a cat that, you know, one of the first comedians that I know of when I was a child, his name was Flip Wilson. I don't know if a lot of y'all heard that name, but it's an old comedian that made him wear a dress, that made old Flip wear a dress. He was funny too. But they put a dress on him and made Mike out. And then that broke the barrier. And then after that, Richard Pryor and all the comedians after that. Those guys opened the door. Hey, Shalom. They opened the door, you know, for Martin Lawrence and Martin, yeah, the Wayne brothers. Yeah. I don't think Bernie Mac, did Bernie put on a dress? Anybody out there, did Bernie Mac put on a dress? Oh, you know what? The hell with that. Bernie Mac played a feminine spirit in life. Yeah. He played a sodomite. Yeah. So all of them, got them all. Jamie Foxx, what about David Chappelle? David was funny, but I don't think he put on no dress. I don't know. We think hard enough. So money, you know, money will make you do some strange. Money will make you do the things that you don't want to do. But you have to. Nobody play gay in life right. Money will make you do the things that you say that you would never do. But you got to love yourself more than money. Somebody say Cat Williams didn't. Cat Williams, that's Mini Mike. He played sodomite. He played the sodomite man. Yeah, he was kind of squilling, like in playing all pretty and all of that in Life, not Life, but Friday. Yeah. Now, he was trying to play a pimp though, so you know the world have they have their definition of what being gay is. In the world, you know, a man thinks that because he's not taking a ride, but he giving it, that he's not gay. You a sodomite. You giving it, you are an abomination. Whether you giving it or taking it is both wrong, man. It's both wrong. And they have to stop that. Alright. So we went through all that to say, because that's a touchy situation when it comes to the money and your job and stuff like that. People don't want to lose, you know, they invested, they don't want to lose their job. Well, if you've been sinning for the last 20 years, you're going to say, well, I don't want to stop sinning because I've been sinning 20 years. I don't want to follow you, Lord, because I've been sinning 20 years. You can't say that. You have to stop sinning. The Lord told the Pharaoh, fire everybody, man. Let my people go. What do you think that means? You go into the office and they say, hey, we're going to have to let you go. What does that mean? That means show up tomorrow? That means you fired. So, when the Father said, let my people go, that means fire everybody in the land of Egypt. What? Everybody? Fire them all at once. Yes, I got them. And we walked out towards the wilderness of Paran, and he had us. You see what I'm saying? He had us from nothing, man. So now just imagine, if he tell you to let it go, you think he ain't gonna have you? O ye of little faith, he will have you, man. He will take care of you. You gotta believe. But the other thing is, make sure that you're applying the scriptures. All right. So, back to Ecclesiastes 30. $15 again, then going to 16 up.
This is Ecclesiastes 30 and 15. Health and good estate of body are above all gold, and a strong body above infinite wealth.
And a strong body. So a strong body is above infinite wealth. So concerning to loving yourself, take care of yourself. If you're sick, do something about it. If you're overweight, do something about it. If you got infections, do something about it. You got high blood pressure, do something about it. If you got allergies, do something about it. If you got skin diseases, do something about it. We already in the commandments and keeping the laws. The other part is you got to do something about it with the laws. Ecclesiastes chapter 38 and verse 1.
This is Ecclesiastes 38 and 1. Honor a physician with the honor due unto him, for the uses which he may have of him. For the Lord hath created him.
So what do you do with the physician? What's his name? What's your name again? Davon. What do you do with it? Can you read? It says honor the physician. A physician is a doctor, okay? So what do you do with the physician? Just repeat the word. What did it say? You didn't get to the page. Help them out. Ecclesiastes chapter 38, verse 1. I already read it. I'll read it again for you. Honor a physician. So what do you do with the doctor?
You discuss problems with your health.
Okay, that's very good. You discuss problems. See, he went even further. I was going to say, listen to what he got to tell you. He just explained what it is listening is. You're going to discuss your problems with your health. That means go to the doctor. If you love yourself, what do we do, congregation? Go to the doctor. Some of you might think that, Sam, you telling us something that I already know. Boy. Yeah, you know, but you don't go to the doctor. You'll sit up and be sick and won't go to the doctor. You'll have issues and won't go to the doctor. You say, I don't want to pay the copay. Or I don't have insurance. So if you don't have insurance, then you still not go to the doctor? Man, please, still go to the doctor. Still go to the doctor. Find a reasonable doctor. Call in and say, hey, I don't have insurance. Is there a sliding scale? What fee do I have to pay? Do you take payments? Because I'm having this rash. I'm having this problem. I'm having blurred visions. I'm having a toothache. Go to the doctor. Honor the physician. And once you go, listen to them. They tell you to take the medicine. Hey, man, take the medicine. Now, also, educate yourself and find some herbal heals, because that's the true medicine. We've lived how many years? 20, 30, 40 years. And so you're used to pharmaceutical medicines that mask the pain. Everybody hear what I say? They mask it. It's like a Band-Aid. It's temporal, right? I don't want to take that, but you're gonna eat his food. Come on, man. You gonna be a hypocrite? You gonna be a hypocrite? They could put sand and bugs and all kind of stuff into the foods, but then you're gonna be a hypocrite when it comes to his medicines. Go find out what they call what you're dealing with. Take the medicine until you can do better. What is doing the better? Finding out the medicines of the earth that can help you. And once you find those out, then incorporate that lifestyle into your life. And because your system is not used to herbs, take them, but be mindful, be careful, because they'll give you a bellyache, because you're putting something into your system that you're not used to. These raw herbs, you're not used to them. It's very strong. Your stomach, lining in your stomach is gonna acknowledge something foreign. How do I know? Because I take herbs. And when I can be on the herbs and by the end of a week I have a bellyache. And I know, because I've been drinking these herbs and they strong. This stuff works. So to love yourself would be to honor the physician. Your hands, your feet. Some of you have feet problems. Your back, you have back problems, knee problems, head problems, all different type of problems. Go to the doctor. That's normal. Okay? For the Lord, that's the end of the precept in 1. For the Lord have created him. We don't like them because they the nations, but the Most High created them. He gave him the mind that's in his head. For of the Most High coming healings. Okay? You get some people that don't go to the doctor, they die at home. Go ahead.
And he shall receive honor of the king. The skill of the physician shall lift up his head. And in the sight of great men, he shall be in admiration.
Right. Go ahead.
The Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them.
Uh-oh, hold on, Slocky. That's the part that I was talking about, the herbs. For the Lord hath created medicines out of the earth. There are a lot of medicines that do things. I mentioned dandelion or tree barks. There are a lot of trees, leaves, mints. For those you brothers and sisters that have allergies, I tell you a remedy that works better than Zyrtex, Claritin, and any other prescription over the table. And you have half of it at home and don't know it. The main ingredient is turmeric. That's the orange powder. So you take turmeric and you take raw honey. I'm talking about the white looking stuff that look like a paste. Not the pasteurized that's been heated and melted down. No, you take the raw stuff. And you take the turmeric. Let's see, you might take during allergy season, you might try to make enough. Listen, pay attention, because that's what's affecting us now. You're thinking that it's a cold. No. I didn't know that I had allergies, but I used to get it so bad, and I used to be trying to treat a cold and trying to treat the flu, and it would never go away. I mean, I would have it for a month or so. It would seem every time it was every season, it'd be like it's the death of me. It's like I was afraid. I was going around, what's up, Brother Kelly? Shalom Shabbat. I was going around saying I got a low immune system. It's attacking me. It's gonna get me. So my wife said, you probably got allergies. So I dismissed it. I'm like, I know. I would go out, and that was the only thing, that was one of the things I wasn't cheap on, buying cold medicine. Man, I would go out and buy Dayquil, NyQuil, cough drops, cough syrup, night syrup, day syrup. I mean, I would medicate myself around the clock. I mean, if you had a cold, my house was the substation. You understand? Just like, so, but she said, you might have allergies. So since I couldn't beat it, I might as well join. I said, okay, I'm going to check it out. I'm going to see. So then I start taking some allergy medicine. Cold and allergy. I had to be sick. I had the cold in there. They got combination pill. Man, that thing went away in around 3 or 4 days. I was like, I could have kicked myself. I'm like, I've been suffering for years and never knew that I had, and I don't know what allergy is. What you know, you have different type of allergies, right? I don't know what it is, but all I know is I suffer from an allergy. So, I ain't bought cold medicine since. I don't buy cold and flu medicine. I buy a cough drop because allergies give you the symptoms of a cold or a flu. If it get all up on you and in your mix, your throat on the inside will be raw like a dog. You'll be coughing up cold and phlegm just like it's the flu. You'll be coughing. It ain't no cold and flu. It's the allergy. It's just enough of it in your bloodstream that it's jacking you all up. So I will get a cough drop for that. It helps soothe the throat, the allergies. But Father willing, I haven't had no issue. But the honey, so I'm going to give you an amount. Say, for instance, you're going to take it, because I usually, when I would start making it for my children, just take about a tablespoon of the turmeric. Now, that's probably quite a bit. You can go to an herbal shop and buy turmeric in a powder, grinded up powder. I've never grated it myself, but you possibly can grate it yourself. I always buy it from an herbal store in a powder. So you take the turmeric, and then you might want to take 2 or 3 times as much tablespoons of the raw honey and mix it all up together. Oh, yes, and the cinnamon. Honey, turmeric, and thank you, brother. And the cinnamon. That's going to do the job. Trust me. You're going through the sore throat right now? That's what you need. Cough medicine ain't going to never make it stop. You're going to be sick forever until the Father just say, okay, get him, leave him alone. Then it'll start going out of your throat, going out of your system. But, and also, so you can do, if you do 1 tablespoonful of turmeric and 2 tablespoons, I said 3, but do 2 tablespoons full of the honey, and then maybe a tablespoonful of the cinnamon. And just mix it all up and keep it in a little container, little, you know, the little, y'all know what I mean. What is it? Plastic, little ware, Tupperware, right? Mm-hmm. And then just take a teaspoon. Take a teaspoon and eat it. Do one in the morning, one in the afternoon, one at night, guaranteed. That's your herbs. Acid reflux and heartburn. You know what kills that better than any old Tums or Nexium and all of that? Something that's in your refrigerator that comes from the ground or of a tree. Mustard.
Yeah. Mustard kills.
Mustard. You got that acid reflux or that belly burn in the top of your stomach, about right here at the bottom of your esophagus, from eating that food or whatever, greasy foods or whatever. Take a teaspoon of mustard and just eat it. It should go right down and coat your stomach. It works faster than the pills. So you have to the point is you have to find out what these herbs of the field, what their operations is. The dandelion, you know the thing that's in your grass that come up. It has a yellow flower, and we always pick them as child and bloom them. They're white and they go everywhere. That's the dandelion. You know what that takes away? That takes away joint pain. But if you're not careful, it'll be rough on the stomach. If you got joint pains, tendonitis in your elbows or in your knees or whatever, or muscle aches, drink dandelion. Drink the dandelion tea. How do you do it? Don't be afraid. Oh, it's a pesticide. It's bugs. That's what they want you to think. But what black people don't do, what Israelites don't do, we don't pay for lawn care. So because we don't pay for lawn care, we ain't got no insecticide out there. So you just go right out there in your yard, take a screwdriver and dig up the whole thing and pull the leaves apart. You can sit them on something, or better yet, just wrap it up in some paper. Wrap it up in some paper and leave it. It's gonna dry out. Once it dry all out, you boil it. Boil it and strain it. Put some honey and sugar in it. And a little lemon. And drink it for a week. Your inflammation, your tendonitis, gone. As long as you stay on it, gone. Trust. I know from experience. I have knee pains from lifting heavy, coming up. I used to be a big time squatter. Squatter means power lifter. And I didn't just get up there and just, no, I sat down to where my buns was about this far from the ground. I sat on it. Plus playing football, and then being a carpenter, working on my knees, doing a lot of floors. So my knees ate. Then 10 pounds overweight. I don't think I'm overweight though. That's Esau in his chart. Want to tell you got to be damn anorexic. How much slimmer can I get? You understand? How much I got to be? You know, I'm 5'10", I got to be 140 pounds. Come on, man, I got to lose 100 pounds to fit your chart to say this? No, man, I'm not anorexic. Something else going on, man. I shouldn't have been doing all that lifting and stuff. But when I'm drinking that, which I got to get back to it. Like butter, it'll take it away. So whatever, and how do I research what problems I have? Just go on the internet. Go on the internet. I have this problem. What herbs? And then start doing the research. And I'll finna tell you to inbox me, but because I know y'all will do that. But you can do the homework yourself. What herb will be good for joint pain? Or what herb will be good for dizziness? What herb is good for dizziness? Ginger, ginkgo, right? Ginkgo, and I think it's another one. Yeah, that might be it. Ginger and ginkgo. Mix those together. Those are good for lightheadedness. Ginger and ginkgo. So, back to our scriptures. We at Ecclesiastes chapter 38 and verse 4.
The Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them.
And he that is wise won't hate them. So you won't turn your nose up. Right? The wise person ain't gonna turn his nose up. If I go out there and I see something, like my brother come back sometime with all these different stuff saying, Sham, this does this. I don't turn my nose at like, what is this, man? Get that. Where'd you get that from? Off the curb, off the street. I saw it. I was at the bus stop. The Lord said, he that is wise ain't gonna hate him. What is that you come back with one time? You come back with all kind of stuff.
Yellow duck.
Yellow dock. Tell us about that herb.
The yellow dock, it will...
Sit up, Tawano. All right, you don't care. Yellow dock.
The yellow dock will cleanse your blood and prevent arthritis, prevent diabetes. The yellow dock will what's some of the it will definitely increase your pH. I'll tell you that much.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It cleans your pH?
It cleans your urine. It's good for women's on their cycle. It is also beneficial for cleaning the kidney and basically everything in this area.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. So y'all look that up. So if that's gonna help us, if that's gonna help sisters when they're on their cycle, that's gonna help also what pertaining to them during that time. Cramps.
Yeah.
Cramps. So then that mood swing, because you're irritable, because you're not feeling good, that's gonna help that. Drinking that's gonna soothe that infirmity that you have to go through. Yellow dot. Okay. What else? Another one. And the thing is, where'd you find that at? You find them in the strangest places. Or the most common places, Salaki. In the most common places. Where'd you find that stuff at?
I found that growing in the field, abandoned lot.
An abandoned lot. The brother said an abandoned lot. Just a vacant lot. He's going to work or coming to school or whatever. Going through a lot. And the other thing, what is that? It helps your pH level above 8. Wow. Bernie, now that I know that, I'm going to have to get on it. You got some more of this?
Yeah.
I have to get on that. So now, your pH level raises your energy. Wait a second, Israel. It raises your energy. Who don't want energy? So we can leave Red Bull in the store. Yeah. You can leave coffee in the store. You can drink the yellow dock. If it raises your pH, anything with a high pH level energizes, because our body is electric on the inside. Okay? All right. So that's good. As you stocked up on herbs, all praises. Yeah, here's good looking out too on that black seed oil. I've been using that. I'm waiting to see. You know, most times it take you a month, a couple months to, so I've been patiently using it and stuff. Every day though, faithfully every day. Thing is I have to couple it, with a prescription, so we'll see. And then one's got to start weaning off while that black seed stay in place, and that's how I'm gonna really be able to tell. So, So the Lord created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor 'em. Okay. Was not the water made sweet with wood, that the virtue thereof might be known? So in the wilderness, Israel murmured in Exodus 15. They murmured about the water that they couldn't drink it. So the Lord told Moses to cut a tree down. And then it absorbed and it took the taste away. It took the taste away out of the water. That the virtue, meaning the strength, the ability of the tree might be known. Okay. There's something else that I drink from time to time. Use it for energy. It's called Damiana. You know, it has several different uses for male and female uses. So that's a tree. It's a bark that's grinded up into a dust, or it comes shredded, but it's a good herb. Okay. Something else, Damiana, Lapatro. Yeah, I use that for pain. Lapatro for pain. If you got muscle aches and muscle pains, you can drink Lapatro. I mix that with what's the tree? The other tree I mix it with, brother. Hibiscus. If you got hibiscus trees, you know the ones that's on your patio with the pretty flowers, you can drink that. Those flowers are precious. Don't just let the flowers fall and go to waste. No, after the bloom, the flowers are gonna cocoon and then they're gonna fall over. Once they fall over, open the leaves up, make sure ain't no bugs in them. And then take the flower inside and wrap it up in some paper and let it dry out. It's the sweetest tea that you can ever taste. But I forgot the benefits of the hibiscus. Do you know? Somebody look it up. But I mix it with any other my herb because of the taste. I got the orange or the, is it the orange or the red? And it gives you that color and also that flavor. It's a sweet smelling savor that's going on with it. This is the medicines that the Father tell us to take care of yourself with. Okay. High blood pressure, cholesterol, shoot, man. Cleaning your blood, liver, and inflammatory problems. Yeah, that's swelling. So you hard-working people, you know, if your feet is, you know, swells up, and you taking this tea and you get this stuff inside of you, it'll help counterattack. Okay? It'll help counterattack. So there's strength in these trees. Was not the water made sweet with the wood, that the virtue, meaning the strength thereof, might be known? Go ahead.
Verse 6. And he hath given men skill, that he might be honored in his marvelous works. With such doth he heal men.
Right, with such does he heal men. So we get on a regular regimen of our herbal products. The Lord said, with such do he heal men. Go ahead.
And taketh away their pains.
And take it away their pains. Okay, go ahead.
Of such doth the apothecary make a confection.
Right, so there are people that sit down and the Father give them the Spirit. What is that? All different type of herbs that we've been naming. The Father give them the Spirit to put together the herbs and the combinations and to do the research about what our foreparents in the past has used these things for. Of such doeth the apothecary make a confection. Go ahead.
And of his works there is no end. and from him is peace over all the earth. My son, in thy sickness be not negligent, but pray unto the Lord, and he will make thee whole.
So even though we got the herbal game going, and we know to use it, the Lord says still, in your sickness, don't hesitate, be not negligent, but pray unto the Lord, and he will make thee whole. Meaning he gonna lead, guide, and show you what to do, and then heal you when he find out that you're doing it. Verse 10.
Leave off from sin, and order thine hands aright.
Go ahead.
And cleanse thy heart from all wickedness.
See that? So you got to stop the sin. You can't continue to sin, take the herbs, and then expect it to work. Who did that?
The guy who's supposed to.
He's a king. Aesop, he did that. The father plagued him. He was diseased in his feet. He sought the physician, but not the Lord. Therefore, the Lord killed him. Give a sweet savor and a memorial of fine flour, and make a fat offering as not being. Meaning as you, as you haven't did. That's the sacrifice. But we're not making a sacrifice at this point, an animal sacrifice. We're going to sacrifice ourselves. We're going to put our butts on the line. We're going to put our livelihood on the line. We're going to kill the old man. We're going to be buried with Christ and resurrect with him. We're going to destroy the works of the old flesh. Then give place to the physician, for the Lord hath created him. So loving yourself, Israel, you go into the doctor. That's a part of it. Let him not go from thee. What does that mean? Let him not go from thee. Does it mean take him home and he gonna live with you? What does that mean?
Keep his works in remembrance. Don't kind of forget what options you have.
Okay, for thou hast need of him. Let him not go for thee, for thou hast need of him. Make the appointments and keep them. I missed my doctor's appointment. No, you can't do that. Everybody understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. There is a time when in their hands there is what? Good success. A lot of times we don't want to listen to them. I've been down that road. I didn't want to listen to the doctor. I didn't want to take their medicine. I suffered. I suffered. Don't be like I was. Okay? If you got issues, the Lord said, honor the physician. The skill is of the Lord. They recommend certain things. Go ahead and do it. For they shall also pray unto the Lord. So you praying, they praying too. They might not have you personally in mind, but they're having in mind that they want to be able to help the people that they're helping. Most Israelites most likely are trying to seek out colored doctors. You're trying to seek out Israelite doctors. The facilities that you go to are most likely facilitated by Israelite doctors. They just don't know they Israel. Okay? It says that he would prosper that which they give for ease and remedy to prolong life. So the Father is telling you in the scriptures that these doctors themselves are asking the Most High to help them in their skill level. He that sinned before his maker, let him fall into the hand of the physicians. So use the physician is what this Bible is saying. All right, almost Israel. Ecclesiastes 17. I'll read it and then give it back to you, brother. Ecclesiastes 17:1. The Lord created man of the earth and turned him into it again. He gave him a few days and a short time, and power also over the things therein. He endued them with strength by themselves, and made them according to his image. Talking about the ones that he made. See where it says them? Okay, that goes with Genesis 1 in the creation. And put the fear of man upon all flesh, and gave him dominion over beasts and fowls. They received the use of the 5 operations of the Lord. And in the 6th part, he imparted them understanding, and in the 7th, speech, the interpreter of the cogitations thereof, meaning the thought process. The Most High gave us the ability to do what? Ponder upon one's thought process. Verse 6, counsel in the tongue, eyes, ears, and the heart, gave he them to understand. Withal, he filled them with the knowledge of understanding, and showed them good and evil. He set his eye upon their hearts, that he might show them the goodness of his works. If he did all this for us, why wouldn't we love ourselves? Verse 9, read that.
He gave them to glory in his marvelous acts forever.
Right, he gave us, everything that he did, he revealed it and showed it unto us. Go ahead.
That they might declare his works with understanding.
Right, that we may be able to speak. Look what type of person the Most High did. He made us this type of person, calling us and giving us this truth to point to where we can declare it and the understanding thereof. So we're special people. It's not that, well, you're nobody. No, we're far from that. We are unique type of people. We're peculiar type of people. People that are high above all people that are upon the face of the earth. And even in the community and the society that we live in, there's something great and special about us. We have to live up to that expectation. Right? Okay, go ahead.
Verse 10. And the elect shall praise his holy name.
And who the elect? So those of us that's in this truth, we supposed to give praise, honor, reverence, and respect unto the way of the Most High. Go ahead.
Beside this, he gave them knowledge and the law of life for inheritance.
Besides what? Besides the fact that he gave us these qualities, and then put the praise in our mouth, he gave us knowledge of him and the law of life, meaning what it takes to have people to live. Go ahead.
Verse 12. He made an everlasting covenant with them, and showed them his judgments. Their eyes saw the majesty of his glory, and their ears heard his glorious voice. And he said unto them, beware of all unrighteousness. And he gave every man commandment concerning his neighbor. Their ways are ever before him, and shall not be hid from his eyes. Every man from his youth is given to evil. Neither could they make to themselves fleshly hearts for stoning. For in the division of the nations of the whole earth, he set a ruler over every people. But Israel is the Lord's portion.
Right. So this right here is telling you how the Father looks at things. Verse 16, every man from his youth is given to what? Given to evil. Okay? He hates himself. He hates his people. He hates others. Neither could they make to themselves what? Fleshly hearts. What is a fleshly heart? A heart and mind that you can control and tame it and say, hey, this is wrong. Don't do that. They couldn't make themselves do that. But the elect's supposed to be able to do that. That's what we're supposed to be able to do. We're supposed to see. That's all right, brother. What's up? What's up, Jordan? I have my Bible. Brother, we in the Apocrypha, in the King James 16:11. Ecclesiastes chapter 17 and verse 16. I don't think he has an Apocrypha. It's part of the Bible. Somebody post it so he could read along with it. That's my son that's ready to get into these scriptures. Oh, praise it. So, Ecclesiastes 17 and 16, every man from his youth is given to what? To evil. So understand, when you love yourself, you're not going to do that. You're going to control yourself. You're going to control yourself, right? It says, neither could they make to themselves fleshly hearts. So they couldn't stop themselves. So when you wonder like, hey, what's wrong with this person? What's wrong with that person? They can't make themselves fleshly. It says, but stony, for stony. The hard-headed that's in there, they couldn't change that thing. They couldn't change it. That's why we, the elect of God, have got to show that we have power over what? Ourselves, over our heart, and be able to love ourselves to the point to where we're concerned how we live. When you read verse 17, for in the division of the nations, he's quoting Deuteronomy 32. Of the whole earth, he set a ruler over every people. He set a ruler over, let me say it like this so we can get this thing. He set a ruler over every people. So every people has a ruler. The Asian nations has a rule over them. The Arab nation have a rule over them. The white nation have a rule over them. Everybody have their own ruler. But what's up with Israel? Their ruler ain't your ruler, man. Israel is the Lord's portion. Do you understand? So the Lord is our portion. We're his portion. So he's our ruler. So why do you think that nothing never works? In class, you learned that. Why don't the Senate work for you? Because it's their constitution and their mind state is for them. We servants. Doesn't work for us. That's not for you. You understand? They there to abuse you. They there to chastise you. You don't listen to what they say. That's why they put you in jail. They shoot you. They kill you. They put you. You understand? They oppress you. They want to break the spirit of your mind. But the Father's saying, no, pick yourself up. Love yourself. You understand? Love yourself. That's what the Most High is saying. Love yourself. The Lord, but Israel is the Lord's portion. We belong to our God. And he has a son that he put over the nation of Israel that would have our best interests in hand. If Christ was in the earth, do you think Israel would be in the ghetto and the slums right now? Hell no. No, we wouldn't. No. In our kingdom, we're not going to be in the ghetto and in the slums, man. In our kingdom, we're going to be the top nation on the earth. That's showing you how the Father feels about us. This is how we to think. Verse 18, go ahead.
Whom being his firstborn, he nourished him.
What do you mean? Wait. Whom being his firstborn? What happens with the firstborn? They get that portion. They get the double portion. That's why we're going to get what we're going to get. But we're the firstborn to do what, though? We're the firstborn that's going to keep the commandments of the Father. Are all nations going to keep the commandments of the Father? This is a trick question. Are all nations going to keep the commandments of the Father? Yes, they are. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. But we're going first. So when you know something first, that makes you what? The head. That makes you the teacher. Right? So now if you are the teachers, who's going to run the school systems? The school systems once the kingdom is set up. We are. Now you get to go to school again, boy. And I ain't saying Israel is the boy. You understand? In our kingdom, the system that's set up, who you think gonna teach this earth? So we're gonna have work to do in this kingdom that's gonna be set up. We're gonna be the teachers. We're gonna be the governing, ruling body. We're gonna control everything. We've been the firstborn. We get this thing first. And we're getting it now. So when that kingdom is set up, it's just going to be put right in order. The stranger's going to be joined and they're going to be taken to a place. Okay? Read verse 18 again.
Whom, being his firstborn, he nourisheth with discipline, and giving him the light of his love, doth not forsake him.
So this explains the life that we're going through now. He nourished us with what? When you nourish something, that means you feed it. He's feeding us with what? Correction, with discipline, so that we could walk straight. Because we got a job to do. And this job is to run the world. Okay? And giving him the light of his love. What is the light of his love? The laws. Do it not forsake him. So he don't forsake us. He didn't forsake us. Go ahead.
Therefore, all their works are as the sun before him.
That's right. How is the sun? Beaming. All of our works are as the sun before him, man. Very, very what? Bright. Very, very bright. Okay? When something is bright, meaning it's seen. Okay? He knows that we're doing what? The right thing. Go ahead.
And his eyes are continually upon their ways.
Right. Go ahead.
None of their unrighteous deeds are hid from him, but all their sins are before the Lord.
Go ahead.
But the Lord, being gracious and knowing his workmanship,
Go ahead.
neither left nor forsook them, but spared them.
But spared them. So why did he spare us? How did he spare us? He spared us by teaching us. I want you children to understand what that means. Give you an example. The parent could give you a spanking. Instead of spanking you, they do what? Same child. He do what? You got a parent at home? You ever was threatening to get in trouble? But instead they talked to you, right? They spared you, right? And they expected you to do the right thing after that point, after they talked to you, right? Exactly. So that's how God the Father did to his people, which are us. He talked to us and he told us, stop doing this and stop doing that. All the way down to the stuff that we eat. The way that we carry ourselves. We're not supposed to use drugs. We're not supposed to over-consume alcohol, beverages. We're not to just have casual sex. We're not to steal from nobody. Not even the nations. You're not supposed to even steal from them. All right? We're not to lie not one to another. All of these things, man, show that you love yourself. These things are going to give you a name. You ain't supposed to defraud your brother. You ain't supposed to extort your brother. You ain't supposed to do nothing. We're supposed to be harmless. Right? Harmless and gentle. Kind. And the fruit of righteousness is supposed to dwell in us. All right? So I think that's it, Israel. I don't think, let's see. Yeah, we're going to shut it. I know I said we was going to get into the alms. Let's deal with it on Tuesday. That way I don't have to rush through it. The giving of alms. We don't have to rush through it because then we still got camp out the dark. So we can get back out and help our people in the street. So any questions? Anybody, brothers, got something to add? I know, yeah, but we'll Father will it, man. We're gonna deal with it on Tuesday. I know, Fallon, you are very tempting, but it's gonna get dark on us. We need some daylight. We're gonna start off in the daylight, and I do really want to get to that, but trust, Tuesday we're gonna get that work. We're gonna get the work in concerning the alms. Alms is a good thing. Okay. we must, Israel, we must build the church of God. We must build through alms. Okay, alms do a lot. All praises. Yeah. So we was expected to travel this weekend. It didn't happen, and we fell slightly short financially. That was one aspect, and then I think a few brothers couldn't get it. But
Good evening, everybody.
how you doing? But
Sit over there.
but if we had a, if we shut it down now.
How you doing?
He should have told him that, being aware what time it is. We're trying to get out here to go to camp. So, if we, I think if we had had, it available, then we'd have been able to do something. But we'll deal with it. We're okay. So other than that, Israel, that's it. Like I said, we will definitely address it on Tuesday. All right. So, Matthew 26, brother, how you doing? Class is over, man. You missed it.
Oh,
We
well, I get the location together.
Yeah.
I'll always come back another day.
That's right, brother. We start at 3:30 on Saturdays.
3:30 on Saturday.
But
Mm-hmm.
you ain't stuck all the way out, because we do street ministry, and we finna go out right after this to street, so you can always come along and continue to hear this word.
Well, we got. I do whatever.
Okay.
Whatever.
All right, that sounds
I
good.
think I'll just follow.
That's right. Okay. Hallelujah. Matthew 26.
Matthew 26. Verse 6.
All right. So Matthew 26 and 6. Now when Christ was in Bethany, in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured it on his head as he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor. When Christ understood it, he said unto them, why trouble ye the woman? For she hath wrought the good work upon me. For you have the poor always with you, but me you have not always. For in that she hath poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also this that this woman have done be told for a memorial of her. So all praises to the Most High for giving the sister the spirit to come forth and keep the commandments of the Lord, and bring forth a beautiful example of repentance, of a broken and contrite heart, and give Christ some comfort for his burial. Okay? So praises to the Most High. The Lord's communion. 1 Corinthians 11 and 23. Right, so we'll just deal with it on Tuesday, like I was saying. Okay, brother, don't interrupt me now. Go ahead. All right, the communion of Christ, something that the Lord said to do wherever this gospel is to be preached. He said, come together and and do this. So 1 Corinthians 11:23, for I received of the Lord that which also I delivered unto you, that the Lord Yahushua, whom the world calls Jesus. So Yahushua is the Hebrew pronunciation of the Messiah, whom the world calls Jesus. The same night in which he was betrayed, took bread. And when he had given thanks, he brake it and said, take, eat, this is my body which is broken for you. This do in remembrance of me. After the same manner also he took the cup when he had supped, saying, this cup is the New Testament of my blood. This do ye as oft as ye drink it in remembrance of me. As often as you eat this bread and drink this cup, you do show the Lord's death till he come. Wherefore, whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Lord unworthily shall be guilty of the body and blood of the Lord. But let a man examine himself, so let him eat of that bread and drink of that cup. For he that eateth and drinketh unworthily, eateth and drinketh damnation to himself, not discerning the Lord's body. So the gist of it is the Lord is looking for you Israelites to be fully committed and to love him like we read in Mark 12, with all the heart, with all the soul, and with all the strength. To put your spirit into it. Okay? For this cause many are weak and sickly among you, and many sleep. For if we would judge ourselves, we should not be judged, but when we are judged, we are chastened of the Lord, that we should not be condemned with the world. And that means exactly what it means. That if you don't judge yourself from the things that you're doing and stop yourself from doing those things that you're doing to the point to where you can feel the judgment of the Father down upon you, if you don't judge yourself and he have to step in and step up to judge you, what do you think gonna happen? He gonna chasten you. Now, if he had to chasten you, you don't have no control over what he do. But you got control over what you do. So you can stop yourself. Now, don't stop, and he got to stop you. You don't know how he gonna stop you. But it's gonna hurt so much to where you gonna stop sinning. You gonna stop sinning. Because his whole objective is to save you. That's God's whole objective, is to deliver you so that you can do what? Inherit the kingdom. It's a lot more than just saving you from one sin. He want to save you from all sin. You can't pick and choose. Give you an example. We're out in the street today. We went out earlier, and some brother was asking, that's the Sabbath day of rest, and he's rolling up in a wheelchair, and he's asking for a light. And I said, no, brother, we don't have no light. You're not supposed to smoke. He said, huh? What you mean? I said, you're defiling your temple, brother. Do you love God? He said, yes. I said, well, if you love the Lord, then you should not be destroying your temple with smoking. He said, oh, brother, I used to do this. I used to do that. I said, okay, I understand it's a process. But guess what? You're not supposed to smoke. So at the end of it, you know, he just agreed to ride off in his wheelchair. You know, are we supposed to spare? You know, he's already between, you know, he's already in a bad way because he's already suffering. Here's an example where the scriptures say, if we would judge ourselves, we should not be judged. But when we are judged, we are chastened of the Lord. So the brother was already chastened by the Father and put into the chair for whatever sins he was committing. And now he's still smoking by saying that he loves the Lord. I know he don't understand. But the whole fact was to explain to this man that smoking, because he did say how. I said, well, by cancer. You smoke, the Lord give you cancer. Okay? So that's the communion. So with everything that we do, Israel, I think the point is, stop. Yeah, the point is stop. Stop. Because the Father gonna use a type of force. He gonna use spiritual force. And his spiritual force is stronger than words. We can only tell you words. Yo, don't do this. I'll give you an example. We use smoking. So if you smoke, and I tell you to stop, and I show you the scriptures that say, hey man, you defile your temple, and all I'm doing is using words, and you don't stop, I can't put hands on you, and you don't stop, then, you know, that's as far as it goes. But then God, he gonna kick in, and he gonna say, hey, listen, brother. Now, he gonna tell you to stop. How? Because then you're gonna end up inside of the doctor. And then once you go to the doctor and you hear that you're sick and that you only got so much life left in you, what you think gonna happen then? You're gonna end up with cancer. You're gonna end up, you know, you can end up dying from that. Some people overcome cancer. It's curable. But most people, they die from it. And before you check out, you definitely can repent, you know, and pray that God have mercy on you. What's your question?
Well, you said cancer.
Yeah.
Could you use the word sin in place of cancer? Could you use the word sin?
That smoking give you sin?
I mean, it's sinful.
Yes, smoking is sinful.
And that's what I think I need to go. Okay, because I just
Yeah.
so what you're saying.
Right. So I was using it. You know, I was using a live example concerning somebody smoking. You know, you smoking, then you extract, you know, cancer from the contaminants that's inside it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, Most High, in the name of Christ, thank you for the food and drink. Amen. Amen. This is body which is broken for you. You're doing it. This is blood.
Okay.
Now you drink it, brother. This is the communion of Christ. Now you drink it. We just read in Corinthians 11 where Christ commanded us to do it. Okay.
Man, I didn't bring my right glasses. But
That's all right.
it's kind of dark in here. I'm having a rough time.
Well, you know what? You
Don't worry about it. Hey, I don't worry about it.
Well, we finna
It's
be out
gonna
in
be
some.
all right.
We're gonna be out in some daylight. You're gonna be able to get plenty of light and get plenty of word in. It's about to go down even further. It's part number 3 about to break off. All praise. I'm glad you made it. Oh, good, Uzziah. Talking brother on here. You did the communion. So this is a live video. So if you hear me talking, I'm not talking to myself or somebody here from time to time. I'll be talking into a live video. But you brothers and sisters, you should be taking the communion of the Lord. Okay? Because this shows the unity and the fellowship of the Spirit that we're commanded to walk in. So with that, I'm going to say shalom. That's it. Stay around for the prayers. We're going to stand and face Jerusalem and then jump right back in once we hit our destination, okay? All right, shalom.
I have something I want to say about that. Matthew the 6th chapter. Tell me not to pray like that. Don't pray standing. Private conversation. Matthew the 6th chapter. Private conversation that we have with God. Person, when you go to pray, shut the door in secret. Well, I don't pray like that. I'm trying not to pray like that.
All right.
Not standing.
Well, can we show you in the scriptures where they did pray? And then
I realize you did pray, yes, but there wasn't never standing.
well, let's show you in the scriptures where they did stand and pray.
Okay, well, show me that, please.
Take a seat.
Thank you. I mean to see that. A natural dictator don't feel hypocrite to the standard. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay, well, peace be still, and then we're going to,
Okay.
you know. Yeah, there you
Let
go.
me show what you're talking about. Let me write down that scripture. I'm still be corrected. Matthew 6th chapter.
Yeah.
Matthew 6. Do good to please God. You want me to read it or you want to read it?
No, this is a place where people come to learn.
I'm a learner.
All right.
I stand to be corrected. But only correct me with scripture.
You said Nehemiah, what up?
Hmm?
Nehemiah 8. The book of Nehemiah.
8. I can't see too well. Not this dark. I don't have my right glasses. Doctor glasses at the house. I can read them. Read under the scripture. Eight what? Eight, 3.
Okay, so I'm going to read it, okay, sir?
What's up, man? I got 4. Let me find 5, then you can go. I got 4. Can you start with 4?
I'm going to start at the first verse so that you can
Okay.
understand what's happening.
Okay, the 8. Okay, 8 and 1.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
It says, and all the people gathered themselves together as one man into the street that was before the water gate, and they spake unto Ezra the scribe to bring the book of the law of Moses, which the Lord had commanded to Israel. And Ezra the priest brought the law before the congregation, both of men and women, and all that could hear with understanding, upon the first day of the 7th month. And he read therein before the street that was before the water gate, from the morning unto midday, before the men and the women, and those that could understand, and the ears of all the people that were attentive unto the book of the law. And Moses, and Ezra the scribe, stood upon a pulpit of wood, which they made for the purpose. And beside him stood Mattathiah, and Shema, and Ananiah, and Uriah, and Hilkiah, and Maasai on his right hand, and on the left hand stood Pedaiah, and Mishael, and Malchiah, and Hashem, and Hasbadana, and Zechariah, and Shalom, and Meshalom. Verse 5, and Ezra opened the book in the sight of all the people, for he was above all the people. So they gave a description on how it looked. And now it's telling you that he opened the book. And when he opened it, all the people stood up. And Ezra blessed the Lord, the great God. And all the people answered, Amen. Amen. With lifting up their hands, they bowed their heads and worshiped the Lord with their faces to the ground. So they're standing up with their hands up, looking down.
Well, I mean, isn't there a difference between the word worship and prayer? That's what I'm saying. I understand what you're saying,
He
but
he prayed.
well, I don't see where they use the word prayer. I see where they worship the
So
Lord.
at the end of a prayer, what's said?
While lift up their hands and they bow their head and worship the Lord with their face to the ground. Okay. I don't see the word.
I got you. So
Okay, now let's go back to 6th chapter of Matthew.
Luke 18.
Huh? Go back to 6th chapter of Matthew, please.
So I tell you what. Let me say this. Okay, we'll get one last, and then
Mm-hmm.
what you say? Luke 18 and 10.
18 and 10.
Oh, you got another one you want to go
10
to?
and 11. 10 and 13.
Where you going? I think I can find Luke. Go ahead. Luke 18. 18 and what? And what? 10. And 10. 9. I got it. There it is. Go ahead. Go ahead and read. 2 men went up to the temple to pray. One prayer. You got to go ahead. I'll listen to you.
No, I'll tell you what. Let's get Mark 11. Mark 11.
Mark 11.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 11 and what?
Mark 11, and I'm going to start at verse 20, okay? So this is Christ himself.
12, 15.
Mark 11 and verse 20.
I'm going down. What I'm trying to get there. I got 18, 19, 19. Here it is. I got it. Okay, I got one. Go ahead and read.
Okay. And in the morning, as they passed by, they saw the fig tree dried up from the roots. And Peter, calling to remembrance, said unto him, Master, behold, the fig tree which thou cursest is withered away. And Christ answering said unto him, Have faith in God. For verily I say unto you that whosoever shall say unto this mountain, Be thou removed, and be thou cast into the sea, and shall not doubt in his heart, but shall believe that those things which he said shall come to pass, he shall have whatsoever he said. Therefore I say unto you, what things soever ye desire when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have, them. And when ye stand praying,
When you stand praying,
forgive.
if you have anything against anyone, forgive them, that your Father in heaven may also give you your trespass.
So stop right there.
Okay,
Christ plainly told Peter, his apostle, that if you stand praying
then.
and you talking to your Father which is in heaven, and you're going to forgive somebody that trespassed against you, that the Father will forgive. Right?
I understand that also.
All right. So it ain't no but.
Well,
Brother.
you done read quite a bit, but I still, why don't you, could I just read Matthew?
Yeah, so this is Christ that's talking.
Say what now?
This is Christ that's talking. He's telling Peter when you stand.
Okay, when you stand, but Matthew tell me something else. Seems like.
Christ spoke the same thing in Matthew. So he's giving an example.
Well, you don't understand why why can't you do this?
Well,
So you're not going to listen to Christ, brother? Let's go to Matthew 6, because that's what
Think. Matthew 6. Matthew, look at it. The mind reads, do good to please God. Take heed that you do not do your charity deeds before men to be seen by them. Otherwise, you have no reward from your Father in heaven. Therefore, when you do a charitable deed, do not sound a trumpet before you as the hypocrites do in the synagogue and in the street, that they may have glory from men. Assuredly I say to you, they have their reward. But when you do a charitable deed, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, that your charitable deed may be in secret. And your Father who sees in secret will reward you openly. And then it goes on the modern prayer, number 8, I think that's 8. I don't know, I'm like, okay. And when you pray, you shall not be like the hypocrite, for they have.
So let me stop.
They love to pray standing. They love to pray standing in the synagogue and on the corners of the street, but they may be seen by men.
What is a hypocrite?
Surely I say to you, they have their reward. And you, when you pray, go into your room, and when you have shut your door, pray to your Father who is in the secret place, and your Father who sees in secret will reward you. Reward you.
It should say openly.
Openly,
Right.
and when you pray, do not use
Vain repetitions.
as the heathens do.
So, brother, are you gonna listen to me? Are you gonna listen to me?
I wish you would just give me another minute, and then I'll listen.
But you're reading the whole chapter. So
It's not very much.
so let's dialect.
Well, okay. But we'll do it some other time.
Okay, that probably would be best.
Let's do it some other time.
All right.
Okay. And until then, I'll just excuse myself.
Okay. Because he's clearly talking
But
about.
regardless, now you said some other time, I'm satisfied with that.
Oh,
Wait
okay.
some other time, please.
All right.
Please, other time. Go ahead.
No, I'm done.
Well, I ain't got my back glasses.
Well, you sure found the words to read. Go ahead. Go. You were going. Go ahead, brother. I ain't gonna stop.
Go ahead, what? What you want?
What are you saying? I was trying to talk, and now you said, you said you're gonna excuse yourself.
Yeah,
So if you're gonna excuse yourself, I'm just I'm not gonna talk. If I'm gonna talk,
no, you go ahead and talk. I mean, I'm just gonna, just go ahead and do what you're gonna do.
sir,
Go ahead. I'm done.
the first part, Christ is teaching his disciples about hypocrisy. You're not in a room full of hypocrites, brother. You are in a room.
Well, brother, can we talk about this some other time? Just go ahead and do what you're gonna do. I'll just excuse myself from whatever you're gonna do. Just don't worry about it.
Okay, well, I tell you, why don't you then just come back completely?
I don't want to go out when you go out. You say you're going out. I want to go out. Just go ahead. And when I say it, I won't function right now in that standing prayer. Excuse me from that. And then we can go from there.
Okay. All right, let's go, Israel. Okay, Israel.
If every man was just like me, what kind of sanctuary would this be?
The book of Matthew, chapter 6 and 9, the Lord's Prayer. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. In Christ's name we pray, amen.
Amen.
The laborer's prayer, Luke 10 and 2. Therefore said he unto them, the harvest truly is great, but the laborers are few.
Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest, that he will send forth laborers into his harvest. Bless you, most high King of heaven and earth, and all things, most high in the name of the Christ. Send more disciples and teachers to your harvest, to gather your people Israel, and send counsel behind your laws to stand before thy people Israel. Give to us strength to break down our lies with thy word. In Christ's name we pray, amen.
Amen.
The blessing of Israel, Numbers chapter 6 and 24. Children of Israel, the Lord bless thee and keep thee. The Lord make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. The Lord lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. In Christ's name we pray, amen.
Amen.
Children of Israel, bless one another.
Most high in the name of Christ, bless you all.
Okay, Israel. We're going to let y'all go. We'll see y'all shortly in the camp, all right? Shalom.